Hey everybody, this is Kyle, aka Vulcan Wolverine, aka Vulcan Wolverine 2. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning where I'm at. 2/2/2020. Lots of twos. Lots of twos. That's weird. That's really weird. Let me turn off my sound. 2 o'clock in the morning, 2/2/22. Wow, that's extremely weird. Okay. Well, let's get over that real quick. And welcome to anybody coming in the chat. I hope that you're finding your way through this stuff okay. Um, hey, Ella Advocate. Ella Advocate says, happy weekend, Kyle. Andrew Littleton says, what up, bro? What is happening? What's happening? I'm doing really bad right now. My attackers are just running the remote neural manipulation, and they just screwed with my tablet. They just turned on my tablet. But basically they're running the remote neural manipulation. It's making me really stressed out and anxious. I was actually about to, yeah, Tim Greenglass says almost 3 a.m. It's 2 a.m. where I am. It's 2/2/2020 at 2 a.m. In Baton Rouge. And I seriously didn't mean to do that. Like, I think I was manipulated into doing that. Like, I think because I was like sitting here and I was about to put these things on, the transcranial stimulation devices, and I was like, I'm not going to wear those things tonight. It just looks weird and it's hanging off of me and stuff like that. But I was just so anxious. Like, and I was like, man, these things really kind of reduce my stress levels. I think our attackers do a lot of stuff through our autonomic nervous system. And these things like tone down my stress levels a lot. Hey, James Stewart. James Stewart says, hey, Vulcan. Hey, Tiber Septum. Hey, brother. Yeah, Tim Greenglass says I'd rather be here than asleep. I've got an article tonight, but I think I'm just going to open up a panel. I'm sitting here. I'm actually drinking something because I woke up at about 9. Actually, am drinking some like Crown Royal that I had left with a Mountain Dew because I got Taco Bell. That's not bad. There's just a little bit, but kind of helping. Oh man, see, I hate these things. They fall off all the time, but it's like I get really stressed out unless I wear them. Okay, so Ella Advocate says, Kyle, do you know about the temporal nerves and veins? No, Ella, I know a lot about the vagus nerve. My attackers stimulate my vagus nerve on this side a lot, and I had to switch back. I don't think y'all can see it, but I have the noise canceling hearing aids that go on the top of the ear because those other ones were just having this feedback loop that kept going, and it caused this like high pitched noise in my ears, and they're a lot weaker, and I have a lot more pain in my vagus nerve. I know of the trigeminal nerve that runs through the jaw up the side of the head to the brain. I'm not sure about the temporal nerves and veins though. I'm sure that our attackers, yeah. And James Stewart says, stop drinking, it's bad for you. Yeah, I don't drink much. I was just like, I just had some Crown Royal left from Christmas, and I was drinking a little bit of it tonight. You know. No, I don't know. We can look up some stuff about that. I think I'm just going to open the panel, and you guys can come on and talk, and we'll just hang out. Robin Hood says, Kyle, do you think that someone you have encountered in the past put you into this program? No, Robin Hood. In my case, I think I was put into it when I was about 12 years old, unless it was when I was born. And I had a bunch of surgeries at Ochsner, New Orleans, and I think that I was actually implanted there because that's when they were still kind of doing non-consensual. Well, they still do non-consensual implants, but they entered me into it. And I think actually they didn't start hurting me till college. And then for 10 years I was hurt, but I didn't have the high-pitched sound of the V2K. And then in 2011, I started getting V2K and the high-pitched sound. So for me, it was this very complicated being entered into it by a hospital that worked on me, and they were like, oh, he has Crohn's disease, so we're just going to go ahead and throw him in there. I think, like, I'm not 100% sure, right? I'm not, it might have been later on. They made it, when it went overt, they made it seem like this was he an ex-Marine, in an apartment next to me, and this older guy that I don't know the older guy's affiliation, they made it seem like they were doing a personal vendetta on me, and that's what I thought it was for a year and a half. I thought it was just this personal vendetta with these like little ground mosquito devices, or what are they called? Yeah, the mosquito, where it's like that high pitched sound. And I actually thought my V2K was just me being able to hear my neighbors upstairs. So I didn't know the V2K was actually like microwave hearing until a year and a half after it started, because I just didn't know about this stuff, you know. But so for me, I think it was a lot weirder. I think it was actually at a hospital, where the hospital was just not consistently implanting. And then I got entered into the program when I was very young, and they didn't really hurt me. I think they did a lot of remote neural monitoring, and messed with me, manipulated with me here or there. I would stay up, like when I was little, after I had Crohn's and went and had surgeries. And then after that visit to Ochsner, I became very nocturnal. I'd always stay up late at night. I'd always want to stay up late at night unless I had school. And I think that it was like them keeping me up so they could do remote neural monitoring and stuff like that. And I went through different rungs of experimentation in the program. Now, this is just what, like, I'm thinking back, and it's what I think, but I'm not 100% sure. It could have been later on, or it could have been when I was born. I'm just not 100% positive. Tim Greenglass says, maybe the coronavirus is because South Park exposed Scientology's galactic overlord Xenu, and it's causing mass pneumonia. That could be it. I think that could be it, Tim Greenglass. I actually, like, I heard this, guys. I heard this and I hadn't thought of it. And somebody was saying that maybe the coronavirus was released. I think it was on purpose. Like, I'm pretty sure because of everything else that's going on in society, you get a biological, like a biochemical weapon, a manufactured virus that spreads across a continent and then spreads to other continents. It's not an accident. So I don't see it as an accident, but somebody said that maybe they were releasing this virus so that then they can give a vaccine with nanotechnology in it, with a certain kind of nanotechnology that can then interact with 5G, can interact with directed energy weapons and stuff like that. You know, these things that are going on in our world are very complicated. They have many different levels, and it's hard for the public to just look at something that's going on and see all these different angles that the top of the pyramid are trying to do. And the more complicated that they make things, the more angles that they give it, the less people are to believe it, right? We know this targeting is pretty complicated, and it's done for a lot of different reasons, and it's just impossible for people to believe. It's straight up, when people hear about this, they're just like, oh, that's conspiracy theory, you know. And things are done in society that way on purpose. Hey, Tansy says, hi, James, how's things for you, buddy? I just saw, speaking of James, I saw James Munder just did a live stream. I never watch his channel, but I know he's a targeted individual, and he seems to be, he was talking about the corona. He was just talking about everything. So people check out James Munder's channel. James Stewart says, repent, everyone. Yeah, I agree. I think we need to repent. I think we need to get really close to God. Yeah, Ella Advocate says, Kyle, it's right on schedule for Agenda 21. Yeah, there's so many things, so many bad things, like man-made fires from directed energy weapons. You know, you got the coronavirus, you got remote neuro weapons being used on people, you've got biochemical agents being released, you've got wars being started, attacking countries that really didn't do anything. It's a mass plan to kill off a lot of people, to further certain agendas, to land grab. I mean, we all know this. We all know this, like the people who are like being attacked by it directly, there's no question that there's evil intent in it and that it is planned. You know, they use algorithms to do this stuff. But to people who aren't really experiencing it as intensely, you know, there's no way they'll believe it. Tanya says, hi, Kyle. Hey, Tanya. How are you doing? I want to say, too, the other night, guys, like, I did a live stream, And then somebody came in my chat and said that Nex was doing a live stream, and I thought that he had started his live stream after mine, but apparently he had started his before mine, and I didn't know it. Like I had no idea. Like I'm not getting notifications. Like I didn't get notifications from him because I haven't he hasn't been making videos in a while. I left a comment on his page, but I probably would have gone to his live stream instead. And also, who else? It's happened with Future Knowledge. Oh, that's why I don't wear. That's why I don't want to wear these things, but it really, really helps. Like calms me down. It's like sending this little signal along the skin, and it seems to interfere with some of the electromagnetic field conductivity along the skin to make me really stressed out. But no, it happened with Future Knowledge. I stopped getting notifications for him. Stop getting notifications for Next. It's like if you don't watch somebody's videos for a while, or they don't make videos for a while, YouTube just cuts you off from knowing that they're making videos. And that happened with Tina Plonkinger. She's been making videos. So check out Tina Plonkinger's page. She wrote on Don't Tread on Serpents. It's a book about gang stalking and targeting. She's so spiritual and wise. She's been going through this for a long time. Her videos really calm me down because she's just, trying to look towards God, trying to look towards God in this. But I wasn't getting notifications, and somehow, like, I looked at another target individual's video tonight, and I saw like her video in there, and she's been making videos and haven't been getting any notifications. So it's like that's a way that YouTube is like cutting us off from each other. They won't like they will unsubscribe you from a channel, but they'll just stop giving you notifications. It's really bad. Yeah, who are you talking about, Tanya? Oh, you're talking about Next, yeah. And check out his page. He also did a video which is really good on I can't remember her name. She's so important. Ronnie Kilda. Dr. Ronnie Kilda, he did an awesome video on her after his live stream. He posted it, and it's really good. She was like the chief of surgery in Finland or somewhere. I don't know if it's Finland. I may be getting that wrong. But she was targeted severely. She was killed by this global program, and she's very intelligent about it. It's a great video. And Dr. Ronnie Kilda, found like gang stalking manuals and things like that that actually talked about like, cyber stalkers, community placed agents, people who come into your house, exactly what they do. And she was also very, very, very spiritual and very strong in that, and really believed in an afterlife. And that we could even have experiences while still alive, life after death experiences, or what would you call them? You call them like, my brain's not working tonight. Near-death experiences. Hey, Cheryl C. Cheryl C says, so right now they are setting us up to get mandatory vaccines and kill us off that way, so they don't need to use nukes on us. Yeah, I think that it's like the vaccine might not kill you, but they're using all these different delivery mechanisms to get people filled with nanotechnology and smart dust. They're doing anything they can, and it's really like, to me, it's just a fact that what they're going for, if you think about it, think about how many people have a cell phone, right? Now think about how everybody's cell phone is connected to a network, and it's really hard for you to go anywhere. Sometimes you go some places where service is a little bit finicky, right? It goes in and out, but they're putting up new satellites so that every cell phone that every person has gets a signal. Now you think about how they're hooking people's brains and nervous systems up to this grid. They're using an infrastructure, and they're using AI to hook people up. Then some people's direct targeting could have, hive mind team members, shift workers. But to me, it's a foregone conclusion. They're trying to hook everybody up like a cell phone without people knowing. So then they'll have a neuro society where they can shift this thought in people, they can shift that thought, they can make a bunch of people feel a certain way. They can get people enraged or make them all fall asleep. And us targeted individuals, we're extreme experimental cases where they're really trying to psychic drive us. I was having it today where it was very noticeable, this injection feedback loop, where it's like they would, a very anxious thought would pop in every couple of minutes, and then I'd react to it, and it started this cycle. So it's like my brain is being driven by AI, and then my attackers do this manual stuff. Very hard. I have a horrible headache right now. Like my attackers when I was sleeping. Tansy says, Jeanette, insomnia sucks, sweets. Have you tried covering your belly button? I don't know who that James is. Sorry. Yeah, James Munder. I was just saying, James Munder, he's a target individual, but he doesn't say it directly. He talks about everything that's going on in the world, like all the corrupt stuff. Very, very smart guy. I still have the tape on, Tansy. Like I have the tape over my CBS drivers making weird noises. I leave that one running 24 hours a day. I'm surprised that it's still running. Why is it making that noise? That's so weird. Hold on 1 second. Let me see if I can move it. Oh man, that's gonna be annoying. Okay, wait, it stopped. Hold on, it stopped. It's weird that it just started happening when I did a live stream. Stop making that noise. Sometimes if you talk to electronics, they will listen to you. That's not true. They won't listen to you. Okay, it stopped. It stopped enough. And Robin Hood says, have you read Robert Duncan's book? Yeah, I've read the How to Tame a Demon, and then I've read excerpts of the what's the one Project Dreamcatcher. There's like part 1 and part 2. I've read a lot of important stuff in them, but I need to buy them and just go through them, Yeah, Tim Greenglass says, I'm not sure if I believe in the DNA resonance concept. Does every brain really have frequency, its own like a fingerprint that can be attacked? If true, it's weird. Yeah, I believe in that. I believe in that, Tim. I believe that we all have a biofrequency in our brain. Every brain has a unique brainwave signature. I don't think they can just tap, like if you had no catalysts in your body, like you didn't have a non-consensual implant, you had no nanotechnology, no Morgellons type substances, no smart dust. I don't think that they could just tap into your, well, maybe they could. Maybe they can send a frequency to you and get that unique brainwave signature and then start a loop. But it's definitely involved in that because I've sat by my dad before getting B2K, getting hit with microwaves, and he didn't feel anything. So it was just hitting me. And John Hall talks about it. Robert Duncan talks about it. Brian Tu talks about it. Barry Trower talks about that. So all the people who are pretty much experts in this technology say that it has a lot to do with that. But I think that like everything else, it's part, there are catalysts that make it more intense and make it easier for our attackers to target us, but they could do it without any of that stuff. I don't think it would be as intense, but they could still hit us with stuff. They could still affect our mind just with our unique brainwave signature. Very depressing. All this stuff is very depressing and I'm overloaded right now. Like I said that at the beginning of the live stream, guys. I'm really stressed out. Just like, especially with the coronavirus thing, it's like it takes a little virus to spread across a whole continent and then spread to other places. And there's no way that it was an accident. And that's like a little virus that they can use as a bioweapon. And there's a lot of things that the top of the pyramid are doing that they're really pressing down hard on, right? They're working hard on us targeted individuals to get teams of people to torture us and stuff like that. And then the public's kind of, covering their eyes and they don't want to know about it. And that's something they're working really hard on. It's very easy for them to cause a lot of death. So I'm just looking at how how evil society, and a lot of people in power really believe in depopulation. They believe that people are cattle and they need to cleanse the world. They are gods and they're going to take care of it. And it's going to cause a lot of imbalance and harm. Really depresses me. So we just lean into God. You know that saying, the Bible verse, even though he slay me, I will trust in him. I want to change it to, even though evil men try and kill me, I will trust in him. You know, because if we really trust in good, we just don't know what's going to come. And if we just keep helping people and keep relieving suffering, you know, miracles can happen. Miracles can happen. The public can eventually become aware. Eventually, the public at large will just have to see what's actually happening in their reality. At least I hope so. Kind of negative. I'm kind of feeling negative about that right now. Like the public figuring out anything. Hey, what's up, Wayne? How you doing, brother? Everybody check out Wayne Morris's channel. Um, hey, Shaka Khan says every 100 years going back to 1320, there has been a mass die-off. Yeah, there's been a mass genocide every couple hundred or 100 years. Somebody said like it was like 180. I don't want to misquote them, but they said it was like 180 where something really bad happens. Like, you know, we got World War II, which is a lot of people died off. Before that, well, then you had the Civil War. I think you had something before in between the Civil War and World War II, obviously World War One. But then you had communist China where millions of people were killed off. I think we get very, you know, since we were born, well, some people weren't born in America, right, in the chat, but I was born in America and I was just like, man, we're going to just keep going and get more civilized and all that really bad stuff. That's all behind us. And we're going to the stars now. And it's just not the case. I think the better the technology that people have, the more evil things that they'll do. And then it'll eventually, the pendulum will swing back towards civilization. When the public understands all the technologies, then the very evil people in control won't be able to get away with it so easy. But it just happens a lot. A lot of people have lived through times, dangerous, dark times. Now, I don't know. I mean, how do you compare like your brain being raped 24 hours a day to being in internment camps where you still have your solitude of your mind? I think it's the worst. I think it's the worst, having your brain raped and watched every second of the day. And then they leave you walking around. It's like no mercy. We're gonna look at your brain. We're gonna rape your brain. We're gonna drive you crazy, but we're gonna leave you walking around. So like I see that our attackers in this program have less mercy than like Ted Bundy. So it's like the worst thing that I could ever imagine. Yeah. Yeah, Ella Advocate says, yes, Kyle, we keep going. We keep going. I'm with you on this all the way. We have to keep going. We have no choice. We have no choice, right? We've got to get the word out. We've got to keep talking about it. That's what the smartest minds that are trying to fight against corruption say, keep talking about it. Just keep talking about it. You know, I'm definitely not going to get everything right. There's so much crap going on in the world. So many viruses being released, fires being started, you know, GMOs in the food, nanotechnology in the food. And we do have to, you know, and please check out TrueStream Media. Autumn posted a great video from TrueStream Media on internet trolls, paid government trolls, like paid community-placed agents, but like on, you know, on live streams, on the internet. But TrueStream Media, she made this point, Melinda Dykes, she made a point that, you know, if you're going to talk about these really complicated things, present concrete evidence. You know, I think there's so many people talking about all this corruption and stuff that's going on in society, and they're kind of just like me right now, right? I'm just talking with no concrete evidence, with no articles to back it up. We're kind of just talking, right? There's a lot of people doing that, but it's so complex and it's so crazy that it sounds like conspiracy theory, right? So I really think the only chance we have is to release a very documented, concrete stuff. And TrueStream Media, everybody go to TrueStream Media. subscribe to them, like all their videos. They are heroes. Like I look at them as like modern day like soldiers for justice. I mean, they're incredible, incredibly intelligent. They put out really good information. Please go and help their channel because it's big. They got a big channel. I do think that they are targeted individuals, but they don't talk about it like this. They try and talk about it in ways that the general public can kind of not be scared away. Hey, Lynn Rom says they use scalar waves to see in everyone's home. Yeah, I think they use a lot of different types of waves. They use a whole different infrastructure where they're using phased array antennas. They're using radar, you know, probably other stuff too. They use scalar waves, ultrasound, infrasound, basically up and down the electromagnetic spectrum, right? They're using all these electromagnetic frequencies, infrasound, ultrasound, radio frequencies, microwaves, to look into people's homes and stuff. And then they're using like scalar waves, and I think they're even using quantum energy. I think they're even bringing it as far as to use quantum type directed energy. You know, so it's really advanced. It's really advanced, and we've got to play catch up. You know, we got to do a lot of catch up, but it's. And then they're using all these like chemicals and toxins to make the directed energy weapons, the scalar waves, react a certain way to the body and the brain and the nervous system. They're very far ahead of what the general public knows to be possible. But it seems like to me, it feels like the gap is closing. And when you see the New York Times making articles about, is AI dangerous? Autonomic weapon systems, talking about nanotechnology and stuff, you realize that the powers that be, the evil powers that be, that have this system of, you know, not checks and balances because it's not transparent, but they have these like, what's the word for it? My brain's not working at all tonight, so y'all are gonna have to just deal with me. But and I completely forgot my thought on that one. It's like I was trying to remember that word and then it's just like poof. But okay, no, I think that they realize they have to talk about some of these things to the public because the public's becoming aware. So we're seeing signs of this gap closing where the public isn't completely clueless anymore, and they actually want to make the public aware of some of these technologies in a certain way, right? So we can kind of ride the back of that donkey. That's a horrible metaphor. But like when they're trying to tell the public about some of these things like Neuralace, autonomic weapon systems, certain AIs that are self-learning, we need to jump in there and say, hey, they're experimenting with this stuff on people non-consensually. We got to use the stuff that they are releasing and try and put some information out that they don't want to release to the public for the public's safety, right? This is big stuff. I mean, this is like when people don't have their own thoughts anymore, right? They can just shut somebody's thought off, erase it. I mean, they erase some of my thoughts, my memories, and stuff like that. So free will. I think that's what makes somebody human. Their free will, their free thought. So I think we're going to see a lot of groups, and we're going to be part of those groups that come out and say and talk about cognitive liberty. And neuroethics and what it means to not just trample on somebody's thoughts, their individual right to think their own thoughts. That's the topic that needs to be a common household topic. Do we have the right to our own thoughts? And for somebody not to surveil our thoughts, not to put thoughts in our brain, not to take thoughts from our brain, it's a factual reality. And it needs to be talked about. And in targeted individuals, we know that, and we try and tell everybody that. But then, I mean, targeted individuals are dealing with stuff that's like even way shittier, way worse. You know, being tortured by microwaves, and then our brains are being messed with because it takes this trauma-based mind control, right? They have to do a lot of trauma to the nervous system. They have to do a lot of trauma that your brain goes through to be able to make some people's brains accept the injecting the thought or the visual or the feeling. Some people it's a little bit easier and they don't have to do as much trauma, but they're trying to perfect it so that they one day don't have to do the trauma part and can just boom, 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 take thoughts, send thoughts, right? And that's not the only angle, right? That's not the only angle of why they torture us with microwave weapons, but it is a huge angle of it. Hey, Robert, hey, Robert, I got to go check out some of your newer videos. See, I don't get notifications for Robert's videos either. I watched a bunch of his videos, but then like for a week I didn't watch them, and I haven't been getting notifications. So everybody, check out Robert Stanson's channel. He created the magnetic helmet that has like neodymium magnets on the surface of it, and he gets a lot of relief from that. So go to his channel, and I think he probably has contact information. Let me read his comment. Robert Stanton says, Homeland Security drone operators, guys, they are over all of us. Government hired private security companies in Afghanistan. Guess what? They are now. That way the government does, and then he probably something else. Hey, bye, Wayne. Thanks for coming, man. You got to go, man. Hey, David, how you doing, man? Hey, Laura Ann says, Leap Projects recently did a video interview with a doctor. Watch it. He talks about the DNA chain and where they changed it. Hi, Kyle. And hey, Laura. Yeah, so Leap Project is a great channel. Tim Greenglass says, like how the whole gaslighting concept is going mainstream. I hear it being used more often over a range of media. Yeah, gaslighting is going mainstream. False flagging is going mainstream. Even cyber stalking online is going mainstream. And in this cancel culture, you know, like with Onision, and then there's this guy on a mukbang channel where they sit there and they eat all these foods. They start this cancel culture of stalking people online to shut them down. And some people, it seems like they deserve it. Seems like they've done some bad stuff, but some people, it's like it's a little bit more complicated. But yeah, it's actually entering into, you know, mainstream culture. Yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah, Wayne Moore says, I will never think I'm mad. Yeah, I'm artificially insane. I think Brian too says it pretty good. He says like, is a big difference between mental illness and mental injury. Like I don't have genetics in my family of mental illness and schizophrenia, but with the remote neural manipulation, how hardcore it is, right? Like driving certain thoughts, driving certain visuals. And if I didn't use my defenses, I wouldn't be making video. I wouldn't be able to talk. Like I'd be in a lot worse shape. But I look at it as mental injury. I've been severely mentally injured. I have like artificial paranoia, artificial anxiety, artificial depression, artificial, well, I guess post-traumatic stress disorder is not artificial when you're really tortured. So that's not an artificial thing. Very, have a lot of PTSD in my brain. I'm sure a lot of you guys do too. So yeah, like we don't have mental illness. The problem is though, I don't know. The problem is that it gets a little bit more complicated where you can't just say, oh, every TI, you know, was perfectly sane before they got targeted, right? It's more complicated than that. You got people who maybe used drugs before they were targeted. I smoked weed before I was targeted. It didn't make me mentally ill though. You got people who drank a lot. You have people who maybe had schizophrenia and then they start to be targeted. So you have people like, you know, completely not mentally ill at all, and then they're targeted, and then you got a whole range, because in the general public you have a whole range of people, and they're trying to take a subset, right? They're trying to take a subset and target those people, and they really want to make sure that they pick people, maybe artsy people, or maybe former people who did have some drug abuse or alcohol abuse, because then those people can be easily discredited. And it's more complicated than that, right? That's one angle of it. Some people, it is like whistleblowers that they really want to silence, people with really important information, people who are very influential. It all gets mixed in together, right? But I see one thing, they want to pick people like, I'm a very smart person, but you know, I look at conspiracy stuff. While I was targeted, I didn't know I was targeted yet. And they said that's when they went overt. When I started looking at conspiracy stuff, they went overt because they were like, oh, he's talking to his parents about 9/11 and things like that. So we can go overt now. And he's smoking weed, so we can discredit him. So they look for things like little things that don't make you severely mentally deranged or anything, but little things where people could say, oh, they went off the deep end. They were looking into conspiracy theories, or they were smoking weed or something like that. And I know that they do that in a lot of cases. Wait, what'd you quit taking, Judy Grey? And hey, Judy Grey. Judy Grey says Wolverine said to in one video, so I got some. What did you take, Judy Grey? Paint? Don't eat. No, that can't be right. Judy Grey says, yeah, bought me a gallon of aluminum Painwell roofing. Paint. Aluminum paint. Yeah, that was years ago, Judy. Oh, yeah, okay. I thought, oh, yeah, never mind. Yeah, the aluminum paint, guys, that was many years ago. I think that's pretty, like, on a lot of my older videos, I did stuff that probably wasn't the greatest idea. It worked, right? It blocked some of the stuff out, but they're able to hit you from the top. So I was thinking I was getting hit from the sides, and I was painting the sides of my house with aluminum paint, and then they were slowing down the attack, so I thought that I was affecting it. But I would probably not paint the sides of your house with aluminum paint because they can just shoot through. I would use a carbon-based paint if you're going to paint your room. I have a friend who's a targeted individual who actually used lead-based paint. I'm not sure about that. Like, I've heard a lot of people who are like, oh, lead-based paint is okay. It's not a big deal. I kind of think that's true. I kind of think lead is not that dangerous if you just paint it on your wall, but I'm not 100% sure about that one. I think that carbon-based paint is extremely safe, and that is something. Carbon's very honey badger. Brock was putting, if you have something that's really bonded tightly, it's going to be hard for microwaves to go through it. So carbon-based paint is real tight. It has a lot. The molecular bonds are very tight. Also silicone. Silicone is a very tight knit molecular structure, so it stops a lot of heat. And hey, Barefoot Sungazer says, it's crazy that even the truth or community really has no idea about all of this, and that I had been part of that community for years and had no idea any of this was real until it happened to me. Yeah, and it's even weirder, Barefoot Sungazer. There are some people in the truth community like Richie from Boston, James Munder. They're targeted. Like, they are targeted individuals, but they talk about everything else, right? And Richie from Boston talks about this. I like Richie from Boston. I like James Munder, but they don't talk about it on every video. They talk about some wild stuff. Or Richie from Boston talks about some very wild stuff, and he goes into every topic, but he's careful with this one, which I don't understand. I think that maybe he can get more viewers that way. I'm not going to project any kind of ill intent on Richie because he's a good guy and he gets a lot of truth out there. But I think that it's like, if you just talk about this stuff, YouTube's not going to let you become popular. If you talk about certain things that are way left field and then put some truth in them, it's like maybe you don't even do that on purpose, but YouTube's going to be like, off you go. Your channel's getting up because it's I like Richard from Boston. I think he tries to get a lot of truth out. I think he does get a lot of truth out, and he makes people look into stuff. So he's doing a great job. I want to be positive about people who are getting the truth out there, because we're all doing our best, right? Laura Ann says detox from heavy metal and EMF paint. So detox from heavy metal, cleansing baths. I need to take a cleansing bath after this. Let me go ahead and open the panel, guys, because I'm just sitting here blabbing. I was just going to open up the panel right when I got on, but I get, you know, I get into the chatty room, start answering stuff in the chatty room, and it's just y'all ask some good questions and people talk about some very smart stuff. It makes me very sad. It makes me very sad that like so many smart people are targeted. So many smart, like beautiful people. And I just feel like, man, we're up against such a huge thing, but I just really trust in God to create some kind of turning of the tables for us. And just talking to you guys who are so smart, and I'm so smart. You know, we're all very, very smart, and we want to help people. And it's like they're giving people who are really evil and cold the keys to the kingdom, right? They're letting them do whatever they want, and then if you're really good and you're not going to do anything bad, they're just taking your life down. They're like, oh, that person can't be corrupted, so we're going to take them down, right? Sucks. Hey, Cory. Cory, needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. Says, hi, Kyle. Just woke up and saw you on. Cory, if you want to come on, man. I don't know about like your home situation right now. You know what I'm saying? But if you want to come on and talk, that'd be awesome, dude. Me and Cory have some great conversations. He sent me this awesome video yesterday. It's like a robot that they're like hitting and it falls down, but it hits the targets perfectly. It's actually computer generated, but it's really cool looking. Barefoot Sungator says it's crazy. Okay, I already read that. Okay, let me go ahead and put the link in the chat and we'll just hang out. And anybody that wants to come on can come on and just talk about how your targeting is going. Okay, awesome, dude. Yeah, come on, dude. David Irwin says, RFB sleeps in the open on top of his vehicle on private property. No chance he's targeted, but he has a lot of subs and sometimes covers our issues. Not sure if that helps us or hurts us in the long run. I do, David, I do think he is targeted because he's had a lot of videos where he's like in a lot of pain and he's like talking about it, but I just think that he doesn't do a lot. Maybe he does defensive stuff when he's not out in the open, but maybe he goes out in the open to get away from it. Dave, I do think he's targeted, David. Now, I don't know, you know. Yeah, Lynn Rom says he's targeted. I'm pretty, yeah, I do think he's targeted, man. Andrew Littleton says, what's the best heavy metal detox? You can buy things that are specific for heavy metal detox. You can get chlorella and spirulina. And then I take boron, and I think that boron cleanses some toxins out of us, but I'm not sure if it cleanses heavy metals. Yeah, Laura Ann, that's awesome. Laura Ann says, it's written, we win, Kyle. Andrew, get with me. I have a new packet for you. Okay. Yeah. And if anybody has anything that's really good for heavy metal cleanses, please put it in the chat. Okay, so Tansy has some heavy metal cleansing stuff. So she says, Andrew, distill water for 2 weeks, but it will also rip out the good minerals too. So if you do, make sure you build your minerals back up. Yeah. And then Barefoot Sungator says, Andrew, for upkeep, you're going to want to start taking either drops of boron. That's what I take. I take boron. My attackers make me forget to take boron a lot. So I think it's very crucial. And she says, or a pinch of borax in water every day. Very important to get the nano out of you too. Also, I want to say, okay, and then she says, in Barefoot Sungator says, colloidal silver and garlic is essential. Those two things are important. Also, bentonite clay. Bentonite clay will collect any toxins or heavy metals in your system. And then there's some specific things. And then Barefoot Sungator says, lemon in your water always. Yeah. Okay. Let me put the link in chat. And Cory, come on, man. Come on and talk. Whoever wants to come on and talk, come on. What was I saying? If you don't have Zoom, you can get Zoom for free, and you can come on. You'll just be able to hit that link. And I'm also going to put the phone numbers too, but I can't always get the whole thing in there. It's like this big long thing that I have to delete some of it. I need to put it in 2 sections. Let's see. Chaka Khan says drink pickle juice. I think that'd be a good idea because it's like kind of acidic. It has vinegar. It has vinegar, guys, and apple cider vinegar. Tansy says barefoot, love lemon in my water, and with green tea, yummy. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. No whining says the vinegar and pickle juice helps. Yeah, I gotta eat more lemon. I'm gonna start putting lemon on a bunch of stuff. So Shaka Khan says one of the first things my perps kept telling me was don't drink distilled water. So maybe we should drink distilled water. Seems like my attackers always try and make me forget to take boron. They try and make me forget to what else they try and make me forget to take? They try and make me forget to take my potassium iodide. Make me forget to do a lot of. They make me they just erase my thoughts and then put this like anxious thoughts in their place and then just run them. Ella Advocate says apple cider vinegar is awesome. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Wayne Morris, come on, man. We'll just hang out for a while. It's like 2:44 where I am. We can hang out till like 5 or something like that. And I'm gonna drink my drink. Hey Laura Ann, how you doing? Can you hear me? You might have to. You're on mute. Let's see. Let me try and unmute your microphone. Can you unmute yourself? Oh no, wait. I'll unmute you. I can't. There you go.
Am I unmuted? Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Let me turn off my heater.
So Tansy says, hi, Laura.
Hi, guys. Didn't expect.
How you doing?
I'm doing. How are you?
I'm doing all right, I guess. I'm hanging in there.
Yeah.
Kind of just stressed out. Stressed out trying to keep moving forward,
I bet. I didn't realize how many people she touched. Yeah, Ella had a memorial and I could just feel I feel so bad for the people that were close to her and the people I just was devastated.
The coronavirus thing is so devastating. I didn't even think of it. Was that what you're talking about? I had a little bit of trouble here.
I was talking about Linda.
Oh God. This, yeah. Oh, tonight.
Yeah.
Tonight I was on Autumn's channel and she had a video like the 3 videos back where Linda was talking. Linda came on Ella's show and I couldn't listen to it. I started crying and I was like, I can't even listen to her voice, And we had always talked about how we were going to get out of this together. It's like it's going to turn around and that, like, I'm not right because of that. Like that did something to me.
Yeah.
I don't know though. Like I try and think about it. Hey Wayne.
She was so positive though.
I just try and think about it like, what would she want us to do?
She was so positive. She would know what she would say. Get up off your ass. Yeah, she was.
Yeah, she really wanted people to. Yeah.
They don't make women like that anymore. I gotta say, she was somebody that you could disagree with and still be friends with. They don't do that very often anymore. I mean, people cut the connection as soon as you disagree about something.
Yes,
if you don't believe what I do, okay, they cut the connection.
Or they'll call you a perp or something, if you don't.
Yes. Several times I know, and I don't think TIs realize that some of the TIs that are trying to help are put through, I put through more trauma just trying to help.
So, it's such a strain. It's really stressful because you're breaking your back, making videos or moderating calls or setting up rallies, and then you just have some target individuals like, oh, they're out in front, they're putting their face out there, they must be an agent or something like that.
Well, anybody that's speaking out has 10 people usually trying to discredit them. That's what I've seen. So you know, I guess that's expected. You got to have thick skin.
Yeah, I
I'm not as
don't.
sweet as I used to be.
I want to have thick skin. I do in some things, but like, I mean, I get affected emotionally. Like I'm like,
Yeah.
man, I'm doing all this work and I'm going through torture. My family's being hurt and people are like questioning me. And I let it get, and then my attackers like will do the remote neural manipulation thing.
Yeah.
But I guess over time, you just get thick skin, even if it's not a natural thing for you.
Well, plus it's the people that, you know, that that I talk to that have met other people in their area. They're have a friend now, and they have somebody that they can go talk to, you know, about this, and they can have somebody they can pal around with. It just makes everyday life a little bit better, at least.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's awesome. That's cool when I hear that, and I was a little bit part of that, so you know.
Yeah, especially if you're in just like on an organic level, when you're talking to people, you're not paying attention to your targeting. Like I was
Yeah.
talking with Cory the other night, and he was like, "Yeah, just sitting here and talking to you, my targeting became less. It's like they stopped. It's like they toned down the targeting." And I was like, "No, no, that happens when you're paying attention to something else. When you're in a conversation, when you're communicating with other people, you
Yep.
know."
And I always tell people I'd rather worry about your shit than my shit.
Mm-hmm. That definitely helps. Like if you're like isolated and you're focused on what's happening to you, and you go and you help other people and you focus on that, it helps so much. Yeah.
Well, and I've seen
Absolutely.
people, that's how I've seen people lose their mind is isolating. You know, I've seen people just kind of get a little bit batty
Mm-hmm.
when they isolate themselves.
You get
If
into
you
a cycle.
isolate too long and they send for a mental health check and you haven't, talked to anyone for a while, your social skills can be off and it can really rattle you, So it's very
Yeah.
important to keep talking with people.
Yeah.
Very important.
To stay in touch with reality.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
like I'll isolate sometimes and I'm like just all in my head about this stuff, and it's just like, I wouldn't want to talk to people. You know?
Well, I did that for a long time. When I found out about this, I secluded myself for like 6 months. And I didn't want anybody to catch it. You know, I went through stages, but and then I listened to the calls for a long time before I even talked. Actually, Linda was the first one that was nice to me in the
Really?
community. I mean, she was the first one that said, "Welcome to the call," you know, because people are pretty hostile. It was a while before anybody was, you know, said hi.
She really put herself out there. Like
Yeah.
if you had a conference call where nobody was really speaking up, she'd always jump in and just start talking. Start talking about the targeting, start talking about like what can we do to
Yeah.
defeat it. She never. That's the tough thing is at the end, like she didn't call me like at the very end because she didn't really want to talk about the details of what was happening to her. She's
Yeah.
always trying to keep it on a positive level, or hey, what's going on with you and stuff like that. I mean, she really was one of those people who took a lot of responsibility onto herself, and she really, try not to feel sorry for herself. She taught me so much about strength. She was
Yeah.
going through just hell. She was going
I
through
know she
hell.
must be going through hell. But she
Hmm.
was. What are we going to do about it? She talked more about what we're going to do about what we're doing about it, how we combat it. She always had, you know, something to say. No matter who you were and what problem you had, she would have a little bit of advice that she could give.
And she'd know a lot about supplements you could take and everything like that.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I really
Very.
loved her.
I think our community should start listening to their elders or people that, you know, have made it that far. I got to say, have made it, you know, a few decades. They might know something more. Find
Hmm.
the more and more I meet TIs, they know, you know, they always know everything.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Every TI, we always know exactly what's going on with us and with you. But the problem is that it's just such a huge global system. So many different contractors and agencies doing this stuff. So a little bit different from person to
everybody has
person.
a different experience, but we all have the same loss.
Yeah, no, that's true. There's a lot of bottom line things that are just the same with all of us. Yeah. Somebody was asking in chat who we're talking about. we're talking about Linda Costanza. She's been dealing with targeting, I think, for like decades, pretty much. And she had a conference call, and she helped out on the conference calls, and she's just always helping people out. She's so great. Yeah, it's a tough one. God, she's just a person who never, like, you know, she didn't want to dump on people. You know, she didn't want to be a burden on her children or her family or anything like that. And that's the crappiest thing, is that people call us like selfish and mentally ill and stuff. And most of us are not like that at all. We don't want to put it on other people. We don't want to be a burden. We want to help people in society, you know?
Yeah. And yeah, I don't know if I should say, but we had 8 TIs here in Colorado become homeless this last year. And 2 of them have doctorates. And I just don't know how this is happening. I don't know. You know, I'm not saying, it's just odd.
But yeah, this is insane. This is an insane thing.
Yeah.
Like, the public, I think that a lot of the public does know the capabilities. They just deny it. They just, like, they can't let themselves believe that you know, agencies that are supposed to be leaders in the world are just murdering people in a lottery system and experimenting on them. And I think that the thing that happens here is that our attackers, these contractors, they do 24/7 experimentation and torture. It's so evil. They want to make things so evil that people are like, no, whoa, that's way too evil. No way that would ever happen. So it's like, because they do such evil stuff, it makes it very, very hard to believe, you know. But I think we're at the point.
It's hard to swallow. I read that book, The 200-Year Plan. It's hard to swallow, Kyle. He's talking about, I mean, he claims that this is, you know, devil worshippers, and he talks about sacrifices and rituals. And to me, that was foreign too. When I read that, I thought, oh, my.
Yeah, it's like, that's way out in left field. But you had the guy, who's the guy who created the NSA? I can't remember.
I should know this.
They
call him, I don't know, but they call him Hank something.
Yeah, he was like the head of the Temple of Set or something like that. I mean, he was a high level Satanist, and he's the one who established the NSA. He's very high ranking in the military. He did a lot of trauma-based mind control and human sacrifices, and he's the one who established the NSA. I can't remember his name though. It's such a common name that we always talk about.
Yeah, that we don't even need to use, because I don't.
Aquino.
Yeah.
Michael Aquino. Yeah.
But when I listened to Kathy O'Brien's story, I actually heard it in Utah live, and then I thought back. You know, there's some things in my life that, and I think that you'll find when you're waking up, you remember things from years ago, and you go, oh, that's what that was.
Yeah.
Do you ever, you know, oh, that's what that was. In fact, there's a person that told me a couple of years ago that I was targeted, and I thought at the time that they were in on it. You know, I thought for sure that they were a part of it, and now I realize that I can trust them. You know, I can trust them. So.
I have tons of those situations. Like, I worked at Dell, and I just thought people were being mean to me, but it was like so specific. Like, people would walk by my desk and stomp when they would walk by. And it was like an organized workplace mobbing, but it was like, before I even knew about gang stalking, before I even knew that I was hooked into with remote neural monitoring. And I went into a comic book store once, and the owner of the store was like following me around and like sniffing and stuff like that, and doing all these gang stalking. And I was like, that guy's crazy. What is he doing? What does he think? Does he think I'm stealing something? It's so weird. Like, you look back at these things, and it's just like, oh, that was gang stalking. Yeah.
Or, oh, yeah, they were, oh, I see what that was. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then you kind of feel dumb, but you know.
Yeah, go ahead,
I was
Lynn.
being set up, you know. Well, I was being set up, but yeah.
So
I'm sorry, Wayne. I had. What'd you say?
I was just saying, I thought it was the feds and I was being set up for something, you know.
Oh yeah, yeah,
I didn't know
yeah,
what was happening. I assumed that they were undercover agents, you know.
yeah, yeah.
I actually went to
Definitely.
the police. I went to 3 police stations to hand myself in and ask what the hell was going on. And they
Mhm.
said, you don't have a problem with domestic police. And that's when I rang the corruption mob and, yeah, tried to find out what the hell was going on. But
Mhm.
I've had to find out myself, you know.
Yep. Yeah. I thought it was just a personal vendetta, because I had like an ex-Marine in the apartment next to me, and then an older guy, and I thought they were just using like these ground weapons and getting people in the neighborhood to do this stuff personally to me. It took me 1.5 years, and I finally like looked up high-pitched noises. It connected me to electromagnetic frequencies, and then I saw Timothy Trespass was the first targeted individual that I ever saw.
what was your search term that you looked up?
Well, first I looked up high pitched noises, and
Wow.
then it kind of connected me to electromagnetic frequencies, because electromagnetic frequencies can create high pitched noise. And then Timothy Trespass had this video where he was playing a squealing noise, right? It was this squeal, and he was like, "This is what the tinnitus like sounds like," and he played this like, and I was like, "That's what I'm hearing." And that was like it was a year and a half afterwards. I thought that the V2K, because I got the high pitch sound, and then I'd hear, this is what I thought was happening. I thought I could hear my neighbors above me, and then when I moved in the house, I thought I could hear my neighbors through 2 brick walls. I thought that the high pitch sound had somehow given me some kind of like, oh, my ears are very sensitive now, and I can now hear people that other people wouldn't be able to hear. Like, my brain was just coming up with, I didn't know about these weapons. I had no clue,
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
no, it took me a while to figure. My search term was family betrayal.
was what?
Family betrayal.
That's what
Oh,
mine is.
I found, community.
Yeah,
But I had searched a lot of different things. But yeah, family betrayal is what.
yeah.
Oh,
I
I've
thought
only
that,
just traced mine back this week, like right back to the origin, with the help of talking to a lot of TIs. Everything has just clicked into place perfectly, you know. It can be nothing. It can be
it's
nothing
like
but.
dun dun dun. I mean, kind of.
Yeah, there's like a couple of pieces, and you're done. You know, it was crazy. I wasn't really searching for it, and it sort of all just fell into place. And yeah, it's family
Yeah.
betrayal. Once I knew that I was a pre 9/11 target, I knew that it was family. You know, and a few more tips sorted me out, and I knew. Yeah, pretty dark though. The some of it's just disgusting, you know. To know that your own family are that deep into some of this stuff.
and that they'd sell you off like that they would sell you into this.
I was nothing but loyal, mate. I wouldn't even bloody speak out of turn about my family, you know. I bloody would have died for every bloody member, even up until a couple of years ago. And I've been nothing but used. Just been amusement to them, you know.
Dude, I
I
can't
don't
even
believe
imagine
Mum. I
that.
believe they actually killed all Mum's side. Actually, first my nana, then her brother, then my mum, and now they're working on me. So they're wiping out that lineage. It seems. And my mother's sisters are dying in New South Wales, which is the next state too. So they're really doing a number on us. My father's side's
Yeah, my
helping
dad's being
deliver it.
attacked. My dad was almost killed. My mom's being targeted. But the thing is, like, for me, I guess, my family didn't betray me and do this to me. You know, so I can imagine, I know how hard it is for my family being killed and me being killed, but like my family doing it. That's something that it's just like I hear targeted individuals talk about. And I'm like, I don't know if I'd be able to survive that.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm starting to, I've never known a real person, you know. I've never known anyone that, well, I don't know. I can't be certain who's never gaslit me or, you know, who I've had a real conversation with. All that goes through your head, you know.
Yeah. I get
Who can
super
you trust
paranoid.
in the future? And everything I've done, I've been led to. I can see that now. Even this house, I'll do a thing on how I was corralled into coming to this particular house. They even drove the previous resident out. She left all her mail and it was never redirected, all just to get me in here to do this. Everything is orchestrated and it just gels so well, but it's scary to know, you know. Oh, it's
yeah.
I'm past pain. I'm just staggered, you know. Like I hate these people. There'll be no changing that. I'm good with that. I just want to survive, and I want the word out, and I want these family members that turned on me to face some justice. You know, that's going to be tough, but it's what's driving me. You know, members that have passed, family members that have passed on, and you know, I've been played for 40 years, 40 bloody years.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. I gotta say, brother, I haven't met anybody that's been going as long as I have since I was 7, so 39 years. But you know, it's been a long life, huh? It's been a long life.
Absolutely. I can't remember a lot of childhood, like really early childhood. But when I became a teen, I used to slice myself up and self-harm and all that. And I'm wondering where that came from, you know?
Yeah. I had forced speech actually when I was younger, and it really surprised me more than it did people around me. But what do you think? Do you know? Do you have any idea, like, why? I mean, I don't usually ask that question, so never mind. It's not even important. It's
why is
irrelevant.
I believe it's the good nature of my mother's side, you know, we're sort of empathic, good people.
You're probably right.
Yeah, that.
You're the first one I've said that to. I talk to a lot of people, a lot of TIs that believe it's their fault for some reason, and kids are.
Never. I'll never think that. I'll never think that.
Not,
I've done some things
to,
I'm not proud of, but I had some horrible people around me the whole time coercing me, and I still never did anything that bad. So
nice.
I'm proud of who I am. I'll never feel bad about what I've done. The worst I've done is drink driving, so I never killed anyone. But
well, how do you suggest you talk to people and maybe kids even about this, like about how it's not their fault? You wouldn't want to talk to them about this, but you.
I don't know how I'd address a kid.
Well, no, I mean, how it's not
matter,
fault that they're getting beat up all the time at school or something. How would you tell them?
Yeah, I was the same. I had bullies that were on me all the time. Like I'd be about 13 or 14 and my bullies were like 20. And my sisters would say, we're going to go and sort them out. And they'd go looking for them and they'd come back and say, yeah, we sorted them out. Well, I'd be bullied the next day. It was all just constant trauma, you know. It was never, there's never been a let up. They let
Violence
me get
is a cycle.
and then they drop me with a thud and it's like a bloody mega trauma. And they've just done that my whole life, from really crazy surgeries that
Me too.
I can't even explain how they happen, how the breakages happen. Yet I end up in hospital getting major surgery and who knows what else. But
like once a year, did you have surgery?
No, not once a year, but fairly major things, say every 3 or 4. But the way that it ties in is just.
Did you have a really bad bout of chicken pox when you were about 6 or 7?
Yes, I did. I had it
All of
that
us have
bad that
in
I
common.
couldn't even open my eyes, and I had to stay in the darkest
I
room.
had them on my eyeballs.
Up, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, I had
I've got pit marks where I'd itch them, you know.
So
I was covered from head
we
to.
all have that in common.
Yeah, I've had chicken pox too. when I was
Well,
little.
we all had a really bad bout of them when we were young.
I used to have to go into the children's hospital all the time, and they used to say it's because my father was having heart attacks and kidney stones and all that. But I now don't believe that happened at all. He's the patriarch of all this. He's ex-Air Force, and I believe he's signed me over. He was also great friends with a head police commissioner in New South Wales, where Tanya lives. So his connections to the Air Force and most likely Masonic are pretty deep. So, and my would-be eldest brother died at birth, and I celebrated my birthday on the wrong date for 16 years till I needed my birth certificate. Just weird stuff like that, you know. Really weird stuff. It's a very disconnected family. Very little love except from mum.
Love, you speak of love, do you? That's my favorite subject. You know, I've noticed that people that aren't for our same MO are very uncomfortable talking about love.
Yes.
They can't even say the word.
Yeah, I would have been before. I didn't cry and I didn't talk of things like that. It was too soppy for me, but I'm a different man now. I'm sort of out of the box, you know. I'm out of the cage.
Doesn't make you soppy? What does soppy mean?
Oh no. That's an Aussie bloke thing, I think, more than anything.
What does it mean? Like, what does it mean?
It's like emotionally soft, like a crybaby.
Oh, soppy. Soppy. I'm definitely soppy. I'm very
That's just
soppy.
me being an idiot. I'm talking about me only.
Yeah.
I remember being told when my first dog died, I was crying as we buried it, and Dad said to me, "Real men don't cry," you know. And I'm like, about 7 years old, 7 or 8 years old. All that sort of stuff, all that little stuff adds up and builds trauma and turns you into who you become down the road. And that's what I've just realised this week. It's been a dark week, but I can get this out of my head now, you know. Like, I'm someone that has to know. A lot of people don't want to know, or they don't need to. I have to know. And I believe I've got most of it out the way now, and I can concentrate on all about the future, you know. I plan on having a future anyway.
Yeah. I think we all need a future, and I think that I can't see that sometime soon the public will know about this. I can't see it just keep going and keep going. It's like either everybody's going to be hooked into this, or the public's going to figure it out. There's no this going on just for many more years. You know, I just can't see that now.
There's only so long you can deny it. Yeah, there's only so long you can deny it. But if people think this is normal, like this is normal, kids shoot, the shootings. This is not normal. This is not how normal.
It's not healthy.
Not even normal. I mean, what is normal? But natural. It's not natural, is what I meant to say.
It's so sick. It is. There's no future if this isn't uncovered before this mass mind control thing, because the people that control it have the most evil mindset that, you know, you're going to be forced to think that way as well.
Yeah, I think it's like there's
anything. And you just gave me exactly what I'm going to tell kids. Don't let anybody put anything in your mind. Yeah, you can't force me to think anything.
You can break that programming too for anyone that's having rubbish and all that put in your mind. I think the last time it was done to me was like 4 or 5 months ago. So you can break it if you know it's not you, you know. just refuse to accept anything that's not you.
So have you been doing any like
Quite like
practical
buggery.
defenses, or you're just getting through this like with mental, like
I have to do defenses because my brain's real. I'm really back to normal almost, but I'm actually maybe better than I was, but
wow.
I'm really ill, you know. The radiation, and I'm being poisoned non-stop. I was poisoned last night, and I woke up like a bloody truck had hit me. I was so sick. It's relentless. My mouth is so dry all the time. My teeth are going to fall out. This is my main worry, you know.
Yeah.
And I do have to shield.
I do too. Even with the shielding though, like I woke up this morning, it was like the whole back of my head and upper spine were just like a fibromyalgia heat feeling, you know. And I keep saying, I'm like, well, I better just keep going. I might get cancer in a year or whatever, but you know, dealing with but the mind stuff gets worse for me. Like the remote neural manipulation stuff, it's like I can't stop some of the subconscious stuff they're doing. It's like I get used to some of it, but then it's like my attackers are real sly. They're doing this stuff right up in my face, but then they're doing this stuff that's like subconscious, and I'm not paying attention to it, and it's just really affecting me. And it doesn't seem to be getting better. It seems to be making me like worse, you know, more not like myself. I'm gonna figure it out, but you know.
Kyle, we all need to trust our instincts a little bit more.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing I want to ask people. It's not the most pretty subject, but my urine is dark, like dark amber. It looks crystallized and it stinks, right?
Does it smell like metal?
I've heard that's a symptom of dehydration. Now I've been drinking probably 5 or 6 litres of water a day, and it's continued. This has been for months now. I don't know what they're poisoning me with, or if my kidneys are not working efficiently or whatever, but if anyone knows and can give me a pointer.
Do you take multivitamins?
It's not dehydration. I'm hydrated to the max, maybe too much so. It's not hydration.
Yeah, Charlie Brown says hydrate. Yeah. I take a lot of vitamins, and like I'll take Dramamine, and then I'm taking this new neuro, like Dr. Guberman's neuro support or something. And my urine's very, very yellow. So like maybe do you take a lot of vitamins?
Yeah, guys are saying kidneys. So the old man has a history with his kidneys, but is that that's probably bullshit so they can work on me, you know. Ella's there. Hey, Ella. She's been
I'm just looking at the birds above me directly, not far, but directly above me.
Look out, they don't shit on you.
Well, I don't know. It happens to my car as well. Like when I'm driving somewhere, this is what I mean. I hope they don't kill themselves on my car. I don't know what it is with me or my car. I just found a spot here, and now they're circling above me. There's none of them over there. It's just directly here. And before I started speaking, they were directly above my head. But anyway, you gotta stop eating those Dominoes, Wayne.
No, it wasn't that, mate.
Literally, they put stuff in it, I think. Because every time you eat that, yeah.
They do all the time. I'm just lazy. I'm actually eating once a day.
You gotta eat more though.
Everything's bloody drugged. I'm just trying to stay alive at the moment.
What you can do, what I do, Wayne, is I get microwave dinners. So it's like a 1 serving thing. You know, it's like you open it and you eat it, so your attackers can't come in and poison it or put any toxins in it.
That's a good idea.
That's what I've been doing.
I'll have to go through the ordeal that is shopping again. That is a good idea. I was doing that actually.
You can do it, Wayne. I
have moments where
it's not easy.
Wayne, I want to ask you something, and this is totally so off topic, but I have a feeling you might know. And if it's
Yeah.
offensive, I'm sorry. But
No,
somebody's asking, what is bushcraft camping? This is somebody that asked me. What is it?
bushcraft.
What is it? Is it bad? Is it something
No,
bad?
it's just Aussie camping, like bush tucker camping.
Bush
just
tucker,
eating
yeah.
your environment, pretty much.
What?
Something I couldn't do. The Aborigines do it, they used to. They still do.
I think it's more an outback cooking where you use what's around you in the bush rather than bringing pots and pans.
Oh, okay.
That's what it means.
Oh no, I
It's actually
can't.
quite funny because I don't think I could do that. We tried the barbecue at the 5G rally, and if it wasn't for Dean, this guy, literally I was horrible at it. I mean, I brought everything. I just didn't know how to make the barbie work. It was a Weber, so
I had the same thing at Thanksgiving when we deep fried the turkey. Oh my, it was almost a disaster.
Yeah, it was my first time in public, and I was nervous as hell. Like, I'm not usually anxious, I'm usually pretty loud and in your face, but there was about 60 people there, and I was really anxious, And then
Yeah.
I a woman come up and said, why are you here? And I said, I'm a TI. And she said, what's that? And I started to tell her, and she had no idea. And it was like she was gaslighting me, And I thought, oh no, not here. This is at the 5G rally.
I think most people just don't know what it is.
No, it really started to bother me,
Yeah.
She's saying, why would they do it to you? What makes you famous? And I thought,
Here in Denver, they really knew about it. People we gave flyers out to, sorry.
They
really
knew about it.
They just didn't want to talk about it. They were compliant with it.
I would think that 5G people will soon enough come around to understanding it. It's like if we put out more information about mind control technologies being embedded in it.
Yeah, some do, Kyle.
Yeah.
Not very. They're very limited with the knowledge. Like it doesn't extend to like MK Ultra and all that stuff. But a little bit of it.
Mm-hmm.
When they brought in the Huawei news, I think it was in Australia, that's when people started thinking with the Chinese communism and all that. Because that's related to directly like to 5G here in Australia. So, but not really in depth. But they're slow. It's very slow.
Mm-hmm. I think it will come around to that. I just think people like, okay, 5G makes your internet like 3 seconds faster or something like that. Maybe people will start using some common sense and saying that can't be the only reason telecommunications companies are doing it.
Oh my God, an aircraft.
And saying
I don't know if they can see it.
That's so beautiful. It's like nothing around there.
I know.
I don't know if you can see the plane. It's like every 5 minutes there's a plane here, and literally it's not even.
So cool.
It's not even the ones in the airport.
Lay down in the grass.
Planes.
Some of them are, but not all of them.
It's like a drone.
It's not one of them. Yeah, no, it's not. The drones have those flashing red lights that you literally go on like above my house. But these ones, they're like private planes or like military ones, the ones with those round things at the front. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've taken a video once, but it's on private. I'll put it on public. But yeah, they're always here.
What you said about little by little, well, I mean, another Ella told me that once. She said little by little, and I was like, what? We've got to tell this on the mountain. We got to tell this. We got to, we got to tell everybody tomorrow. It's got to end. And I'm realizing, little by little, people can't swallow this all at once. And
no, not at all.
They can't even swallow the 24-hour surveillance. They they wouldn't spy on us. Nobody's spying on us. Read Edward Snowden's book, or Dr. Duncan, or Richard Lighthouse. Even what are you doing? There's
or John Hall.
A lot of information out there. There's a lot of information out there, and it's happening.
Yeah, definitely.
I was gaslighted by a truther here in Melbourne. Actually look after that person, and they expose vaccines and all that stuff, and 5G as well. And I was told you know, no one will be interested in targeting a mother who drives kids to school. And that showed me what level of understanding some people are. And this is a person that has a lot of people on the channel and Facebook. Not to say there's anything bad about the
Yeah,
person,
a
but it
lot of
just
big
shows, yeah.
reputable names.
Mm,
He doesn't
yeah.
target his head around it himself, yet he's
Even the satanic
posing
ritual
as a
abuse
trooper.
here, yeah. He knew, and he interviewed a lot of these famous people. Yet the depth of understanding he had when it comes to targeting, people think you have to be famous or rich or very, you know, that much influential. Like, you know, he said to me, someone like me would be targeted. That's what he said, because, you know, he can influence a lot of people. But they don't know how far these experimental you know, procedure goes. Like when it comes to vaccines, you know, poor people in Africa, that people might think they're nobody, you know, but they get vaccinated on and experimented on. And there's a lot of people out there that would target a lot of single moms, because how much is it per child? And I have 3. And I wasn't always driving kids to school. See, this is the level of understanding most people in our society has. They have this constant cognitive dissonance where, yeah, I do know, but when you explain more, they don't really know, because they're trying to compare you and your situation to something. And what I always explain is, when a psychopath strikes, they're not going to choose your money. They're not going to choose your assets. They're going to choose your mind. Because a psychopath, once they strike, they want to overtake you, your soul, your personality, your every being. It's got nothing to do whether you have a beautiful car, you're a rich person, whether you know a lot of people, but also it could extend to that as well, because what people don't understand is the dynamics of the people who are doing this. They're not doing this just because, you know, you're very popular. They're doing it for a reason, and one of them is depopulation, and they have the heart to do it. So yeah, it's very confusing sometimes out there when you think that how much people actually understand as opposed to what they actually do understand.
Well, and that's
And
their
I was,
go-to. The go-to is like, you're not famous. Why would the government want to look at your brain? But the thing that we've got to say is just, it's being done on a mass scale to so many people, to
RNA
so many
data,
men and
yeah.
women. Yeah, that's it.
And
That's the go-to.
that's how they developed the AI, because the context algorithm awareness of it, you can't
Yep.
base it on just one tiny perception of like one being. It has to be on a global scale, and it's a mass collection of data, not just one baby or one mom or one homeless guy or whatever. It's a mass collection. They don't understand it up to that yet, but there are some people who are looking into it, but not as far in depth. So yeah.
Well, no, there's probability currency. There's algorithm trainers. Actually, there's algorithm traders. There's there's but I would recommend maybe that book, Permanent Record. He explains it from Pong to the worldwide surveillance system he helped build in layman's terms, kind of. Plus, it's
What's
pretty.
the name? What's the name, Laura?
Ooh, I would so recommend it for you, Kyle. It's
Permanent
Permanent
record.
Record by
That's
Edward
Snowden.
I would say it's going to be an American classic.
I gotta write that
That was
down.
very good. It was one of those books you could have an adventure, have an adventure just in your room.
I
So,
need to read more about. I need to read the Robert Duncan's 2 books. The what is it? Project Dreamcatcher Volume 1 and 2, and then that one. It's what's it called? It's
Permanent
I don't know
Record.
the other one.
Oh,
Permanent
Project
Record.
Full
Okay,
Picture,
Permanent
and the other one is
How to
more
Train a Demon or
How to
something like
Train a
that. I think it
Demon.
was
Yeah,
that.
How
More
to Tame a Demon.
Tame a Demon
How to
and
Tame a
Project
Demon
Soul
isn't
Catcher.
that great. Like, How to Tame a Demon's pretty simplistic. I think the Dreamcatcher book, Project Dreamcatcher, is a little bit more in depth. But I do have How to Tame a Demon. I mean, it's okay, but it's just like it's a little bit more simplistic about gang stalking and
Basic.
stuff like
I
that.
think it's more for newbies, Kyle.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Yeah.
no, it was a hard read. It's hard to follow. yeah, Permanent Record was just fun to read. It was a good read. It was, you know, I read it for the love story, of course, but anybody that does something like that, you got to wonder, you know. So I read it, and he even enters some of Lindsay's journal entries. Kind of sweet.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, yeah,
Reading's
she
great.
followed.
Reading really
He went
calms
south
my
Russia,
mind.
and she followed him there. You'd have to really love somebody to live in Russia with him.
To put up with all of it, yeah, and not be a sellout like most families and most friends. Like
Exactly.
I've had mums who actually were friends with me. I went to high school with, have their kids in Catholic schools, and you think they'd be Catholic enough or religious enough, whatever it is, they're paying for it to implement, you know, the kind of philosophy, but no, they're targeting other parents with kids. Pathetic. So most people out there, it's hard to trust anybody.
Yeah, a lot of people are surrender monkeys. I hear a lot of like, well, it's if you can't beat them, join them, or it's too big. It's too big, so you got to join it, and like it's just surrender monkeys, And it's what happened in Nazi Germany. You have people that were so-called good people doing very, very evil things, and I think that's happening on like a global scale now.
Or just doing nothing, just saying nothing, seeing the evil that goes on, and not doing anything about it or saying anything about it and letting it go on.
It's so much better to come out and speak out about it. Like no matter what my attackers hurt me more, like coming out and speaking out about this stuff, and even normal people, they're getting this short-term safety for a long-term destruction of them and their children and everything like that.
Yeah.
It's trading humanity's future for a little bit of short-term comfort.
It's ridiculous.
I just think the top of the pyramid, they know human beings, and a lot of human beings, they're not going to take big risks if they're comfortable. They're not going to try and help people who are in a lot of pain and stuff like that. They're just going to try and keep in their comfort zone, and they don't really think about the future. So I think humanity has to change its perception about like what's important to us, what's important for humanity, what's important for their children. We know what's important. We know this is going to destroy the human mind. It's going to introduce so much evil it already has into the globe, and then that's the end of humanity. I mean,
I think these people are miserable. I think these people hate themselves, not just us. They hate themselves. They know that they're fundamentally rotten to the core, and they hate themselves and what they've done, and they know that there's no coming back. They know it. You have a look at them, they're just scumbags, and they look like they're just miserable. They're only happy when we're miserable. Like, what the fuck is that?
Because they're feeling miserable with
people
themselves.
around me are absolute trash, and they're all bloody middle-aged to retired age. They're just scumbags, absolute scumbags. The whole bloody town is.
I get gang stalked by a lot of confused older people. Like I have this guy who's like, he's very confused. He's very scared. It looks like he thinks that I've done something. He has an older wife, and he's like a good old country boy. He always says, "Hey, what's up, partner?" And he brings his trash out every time I go out and walk Pepper. He's just confused. He just doesn't understand, and he just goes along with authority. It's whatever they say to do. He trusts them, and that's what's going to lead us into hell. Is trusting authority.
Yeah, but what I have luck with is when I show them who I am. I mean, I've had a lot of hostility, in a lot of jobs and a lot of situations. I mean, every new introduction or new town or new, whatever, it's always, I've always been on the short end of the stick on that. So you got to show them who you are. It just,
You got to be the best you can be.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
It gets bad. Like if you really start hating gang stalkers and you really start being mean to them, then they get this justification like, oh, this person's bad.
To do it more. Yeah. Just keep doing good.
They feed off it. It's energy. It's energy.
Yeah.
And they like that bloody evil energy. They like the bad energy, I guess.
I had a friend.
I have
that
to ignore them. Like, I used to bloody get in their face. Like, they'd come near me and I'd go to bloody balk them or knock them down. I have to totally ignore them. I hear people saying, you know, bloody get in their face and laugh at them. I don't do any of that. I just ignore. I have to ignore. Otherwise,
Give
I'll
them
get
a
in trouble.
pamphlet, Wayne.
I
I
want
used to
to do.
give mine a pamphlet,
I want
but
a
they stuffed
T-shirt
up the
and I
tuner.
want to do pamphlets.
give him a card.
Yeah, I gotta print some more out. That
Might,
pamphlet
I
obviously
might get a
didn't go well at
tattoo.
Domino's. They blocked my number after that last order I
Oh,
made.
Domino's are right into it. They're right
Remember we
into the
gave them a
drug at
pamphlet,
Domino's.
and yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, y'all
they
gave the
blocked
pizza
me.
guy a
Ella
pamphlet?
gave the delivery guy a
Yeah.
lecture. He's standing there just like bored, and Ella's just reaming him about targeting.
Well, you know what? I mean, I get that. When we were in Washington and we were passing out pamphlets, I was with somebody who passed out more than I'd ever seen. And it was a lunch break, and the next thing you know, we were out of them, and we had like 1,000. So I was like, why, why did we hand out so many of these pamphlets? It was really him that was able to hand out that many. He was deaf. And he was not talking to people. He was just holding the pamphlet and they would grab it.
Awesome.
He was not yelling,
I could pretend to be like that.
Anyway, I just think that, people bringing this, like Ella said, little by little, oops, my phone fell over. Anyway, Ella said, little by little, I think that's, people are having a hard time and I'm having a hard time. People are having a hard time coming around.
Well, I'll
I
tell
think
you,
they're catching
I'll
up
tell
to
you
me
guys
here.
that it's changed. Like, I mean, like I started making videos in 2004, 2014 or something like that. It has changed. Like, people are more willing to listen to it. Like, our personal situations haven't changed. The targeting hasn't gotten any easier or anything, but the public responds differently. They're talking about AI more. They're talking about autonomic weapon systems. They're talking about 5G. So things really are changing. It's just way too slow when you're being murdered,
Watch the grass grow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really is.
I find if I get out and travel during the day, like go to other towns and take the show on the road, that's how I'm trying to raise a bit of awareness. Make them do it all in another area other than your own. I know it happens everywhere, but make them set up in another
I think you've got
town.
Ness's handler.
And it may start to wake some people up, Don't just stay centered where you live.
Yeah, don't make it easy on them.
Convenient for them. Get out and make them work everywhere, I used to tell people only do your shopping at convenient times, really early or really late. Well, if you've got the balls, get out and do it during the middle of the bloody day when everyone's out and about, and try and force people to see it. We've got to try something. I've been playing around with that of late.
You can't force people to see this. Gosh, I know that better than anybody. You can't force them, but people do start to see it. I mean, it takes a while, but there's family that's recognizing this in other family. There's
even the traffic that a target brings to an area, like,
Oh my God, yeah, the
there's
traffic.
80% more traffic where I go. Honestly, it's ridiculous. People can't see that.
Did you see the fire brigade though, Wayne? Because I wasn't looking. What gang stalking Australia was talking about?
I've only had the
Something
fire
about the
brigade
siren?
go past me once with a siren, so I don't really get the fire brigade.
When we were driving to the 5G, because I was driving, I wasn't looking there. Remember?
Oh yeah, we had.
Did you see it?
We had 2 or 3. There were 2 in a.
We did.
No, that was ambulances.
Do you remember how that traffic light there was?
We had 4
fire
ambulances
brigade?
in a row.
Okay.
Yeah, I do. Maybe they were actually going to a fire.
I don't know, because I don't pay attention to stuff like that. Because sometimes when I have the kids, they're like in the car. So a lot of those things I don't. I kind of can't notice. I notice my kids more.
Imagine
because that's who they set up.
Imagine without these people around, what the crime rates and everything would be. Would it be near non-existent? Terrorism.
Yeah.
Does terrorism even exist? Or is it all manufactured?
You guys want to
Oh,
know
you're
that
hitting the
Ken-
police, the biggest
criminals.
criminals here.
They're paying criminals to do criminal activity. Like these gang stalkers, a lot of them are previous criminals or something like that. So it's like they're introducing more violence into society. It's a false flag culture. It's a let's create violence so that we can come up with a solution, or we can feed
Yeah.
off of the fear that that violence creates. It's just a complete cycle, Hegelian dialectic cycle. Yeah.
And criminals rely on, public to be ignorant, and stay silent. So, yeah, silence is our consent.
I think they just dumb
We do
everyone
not
down.
consent.
We do not consent. I never
We
consented
do
to
not
any of this.
consent
My kids don't consent.
to this.
I'm straight. You guys want to know the 10 top searches this last year? They're in the billions. Like the top searches, what people searched for. Yeah, no.
What was that? Sorry.
Want to know what people?
I'm sorry, y'all go ahead. My internet's freezing up.
Yeah, I
Is this
think I thought it was Kyle because I
Is
thought
this
it was
on
me.
Google? The top searches.
Sorry.
Just
top
for the
things that
last
people search
year.
for. Yeah, go on.
Beyond binary. This is according to, let me see, Amazon. So beyond binary, and searches for gender neutral names. Gender neutral haircut was the third on the list. Conscious consumption was
Conscious consumption. That's a good word.
Yeah, that was, yeah. I mean, that was
consumption.
Consumption is, yeah.
Conscious consumption.
I don't know, like it was up 420%. Anyway, then they've got low waste lifestyle and solar lights craft, thrift store crafts. But the most disturbing, and I've got to admit, was scrunchies, hair scrunchie. How in the hell are people searching for hair scrunchie? Or, why were people? Yeah, that was the most disturbing one on the list, I thought.
How could that even be I mean, don't they know what it is?
Exactly. I don't know.
So everyone's sick of Kim Kardashian's bum then? I'm not. Sorry.
Yes. Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah,
I can hear something right that side too. I don't know if anybody hears it at their place. Like just sort of kind of just sound like a machine like that. It didn't have it before because I actually drove a bit further down from my place and I parked here and it took them a while to set up though, whatever it is. I think it's that house there. That house, can anyone see that house there? Across the hill.
Are you near the big perp house?
Past that when I'm at the bend. And remember across the hill, there's houses across the river?
Yeah, that's where I thought
it's
you
right
were, right near
opposite.
I was going to say,
yeah,
put
a bit
them on
past
camera.
it though.
You've been doing some rock hopping, I reckon.
My goodness.
Where are the kids?
It took them a while though, but I'm getting hit right in my temporal nerves right here. All the way, it stretches all the way right down here. Like from here, my temples right there. And it's like
I've had above my right ear pulsates. It's been pulsating of like, that's new. That's the side that I've got.
I can hear him now.
Chip on.
It's a car. It's a car across the hill. It took them a while though. It was peaceful like for a bit until now. It's starting to hurt again.
Yeah.
Do you guys detox from heavy metal?
Detox? I haven't.
Magnesium, yeah, I do a little bit, but I don't think I would. Can you get borax, Wayne? I can't even get Epsom.
I haven't
Epsom
tried.
salt.
I haven't tried.
I've been looking, but I think maybe every time I go and find it or go get some, they just, sometimes they hide.
Oh, they'll hide
what they do with me? you know, I'm short, right? So everything that I have on my shopping list, you know, from the previous receipts I've got, because I'll leave them lying around, so they know what you shop for. They're like right, like 6 foot, man. I can't reach them, and I always have to like stand on the. It's annoying. Every possible item I used to buy, they rearranged the store to like I have to
There's
reach
a lot of
very high
advantages
for
of
all
being
the
short,
items.
I bet. I bet we could find a lot of advantages. You know, there's a lot of things. I've thought many times, I wish I was shorter. So let me think about that. Because, yeah.
Maybe for you they will put it really low. I don't know.
Well,
But
You
for
might be
me, just
harder
about
to
everything
target.
my kids like, everything I like is like way up, except the
wow,
socks.
Yeah, I have the
dang.
perps ask me to reach things.
Hmm.
You don't know what's a
How do I
perp
see
and
all
what
of you?
someone
Because I can
needs.
only see me. I don't understand. Okay.
Who's
So
that?
just,
Whose is that? Someone's just
What's that?
noise campaign.
okay,
Not
so
mine.
this shows me. I'm
I
trying
get
to.
that a lot at my house. I get cars revving at the front, and it's supposed to be, as you see, like it's some sort of, you
Figure
know,
it out.
tranquility place. Like not really. Like you get cars and trucks in front of your house, and it's like all hours.
They try in waves with me. If I don't let it bother me, they'll move on to the next thing.
Yeah, yeah,
And
they do.
I had serious noise campaigns. The last 2 months were probably the worst they've been, and I just ignored it. And it's few and far between now. But they're doing other things, of course. They focus their efforts somewhere else. So maybe it's best to react to things you can handle, you know?
Yeah, they use a lot of things that used to work on me. They still use it because it affects the kids more. The noise campaign that wakes up the kids a lot, the drones that
Yeah.
wakes up the kids, and it also affects everyone's mood in the house, like either fight or flight syndrome or a little bit of irritability for the toddlers and stuff like that. So they keep using the same things over and over again because they're the ones that work on the whole like house,
Yeah.
especially the little ones.
Yeah, they seem to have gone in cycles here. They'll just go round and round in a cycle.
Anything that works with the children, they'll do that because they know if it affects the kids, it'll affect the parent, definitely.
Yeah, that's why.
Everybody's screeching. Come here. Oh.
Yeah, I would like to help. You know, parents that are dealing with this. How do they let their
just bit
kids
me
know
at
this isn't
Mary.
their fault?
Yeah.
That this is I don't know. It's not natural. It's just something that is. So I don't. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. I don't have
Hey, I'm
anything to
back,
show you guys.
guys. Sorry about
Oh
that.
wait, I have something to show you. I got a really cool thing on Craigslist. No, but check it out. Can you see it? So it's
Another
silicone.
damn plane.
Can you see it? Oh,
That's gonna
it's
set off my daughter.
Tiny.
Silicon Valley from agriculture to tech. Kind of cool.
The painting.
Yeah, it's something
Is
I
that free?
got. Yeah, I got it for free. It was something on I got for, it was on the first day of the year. I went and got it. The
Where
guy
was
told
it
me,
painted? Do you know?
yeah, he told me about it. He said his dad painted it, and
Oh, okay. Cool.
he grew up in Silicon Valley, and it meant a lot to him, and that's all he would say. I
Awesome.
said, oh my, okay. So it's pretty cool.
I like
Pretty cool
art.
find.
Appreciate
Yeah.
art. Very
Yeah,
good.
pretty cool find.
What's
And
Ella doing running through the field?
that's
This
something
is
we
like
got.
Wolf
Yeah,
Creek. You seen Wolf
Yeah,
Creek?
that looks awesome.
it does look awesome.
Such a wide open area. Does
Yeah,
it
there's
get
Ella's
better?
car.
Like, Ella
What's
Advocate,
that?
is your charging
Yeah,
better when you go out there?
yeah, it is. But then again, they can catch up to me.
Oh,
Like just
the
before when you
more
left, my temporal nerves. Oh my God, they kill.
So, okay, so Abigail, you were talking about that earlier. Where are the temporal nerves located? Just on by your temporal lobes, right here? Because I get a lot
Here.
of pain in my vagus nerves, like my
Right
vagus
here.
nerve. Okay,
All the way there.
I think they can.
And it kills.
I think our
Hang on a second.
attackers can stimulate.
Mine's
Yeah,
there.
my attackers are hitting me in the face, just like with a stream of. They're like they put an electromagnetic field around, send signals to the brain. Ah.
They do. And my car is also really bad. I don't know why. It's just, even when the ignition is off, it makes that a really bad sound. Not at the moment. Sorry, I walked uphill. Not at the moment, but it gets really, really bad. Like sometimes, like I go out in the middle of the night, and my car is like just making sounds by itself. Like it's just as though it's on, and I don't know why. You know, like now.
Like the engine makes sounds?
Like there's nothing
when the
on
car's
now.
not on?
Yeah, it's like this, right? But it's not doing it now. But there's times when I walk out in the middle of the night, and it's either one of the cars, or the fridge that's not working.
Mm.
And right now, when I was walking uphill, they're targeting my stomach or my solar plexus. Like I can't even speak, and it's like a 10-step walk up, and they're targeting my back and my stomach while I'm walking uphill.
Yeah, because when you're using those muscles, I used to have a job delivering oxygen, and I'd have to pick up these big oxygen machines.
You I used to have to
So
lift
I
up
would
the bottles.
strain my back,
And there's
then my
another
attackers would
plane.
hit it of like you're moving around or walking. It's like they can hurt you even more. You know.
Yeah, I remember I was carrying my daughter. We went hiking, and the moment that she started playing up, that's when and I was walking uphill, same as now, and they started hitting my solar plexus really, really badly. And it's like I was doing triple the work of walking up rather than just walking up normally. And on top of that, I was holding my daughter because she was crying, and they make it difficult for you to just even do, you know how they say to increase the plasticity of your brain, and brain exercises, physical activity is one of them, but they make it so difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're actually double working or triple working rather than just, walking a little bit. They make it feel feel like it's double the work or triple the work. Like I used to do Zumba. I can't just walk 10 steps and get puffed. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, but
And they do that. And there's
when you're
another
getting hit
plane
right
and
in the
another
chest,
plane that
like I
goes
try and
past.
go running. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, my attackers try and make it hard to do anything. Yeah. I was like,
They attack my respiratory a lot.
they're
My
about to
heart.
start the live stream, and I was like, I'm not going to wear my. And I think that sometimes they hit with external hits, and they're using remote neural manipulation to, do stuff through the nervous system. So they're doing both. It's like they can make your heart palpitate with remote neural manipulation, then they shoot you with an external shot too, and then people are like, oh, well, they're hitting me with an external shot, and that's creating heart palpitations, but they're doing two things.
Yeah, I could actually feel it right now.
Frozen
Like
up,
not pulsating, like the solar plexus, like the one that handles your nervous system, like right at the where your lower abs and tummy is, like kind of that spot, that circle. And they keep hitting that, and they keep hitting it, and then at the same time my heart, and then my temporal nerves. and that extends right to my jaw, and it's killing it. Like before, I was just massaging it myself. That's when they started catching on to me, and that's when the pain started coming. And now ever since then, it's just another one. I don't know if you can hear it, but literally I can't see anything.
Do you
There's
think there's
really
a point where they damage the brain and you can't feel any of that happening? What do you think, Kyle?
I wish I could not feel what's happening. You mean when you go
I
numb?
think they can
Does it?
really, yeah, they can really mess up like how our neurons
There's somebody walking
like
their dog.
communicate
You're really
stuff.
freezing up.
But
Sorry,
I
mate.
think you're always going to feel pain in your spine, your body. Oh yeah, my attacker.
It might
They
be
did this
me.
on the last one too. Yeah, I don't know how to correct it. They must be getting yeah, I left my computer on all night too. So shoot. I mean, like what I feel like is my attackers mess with how fast I think. So like it'll like if I'm trying to remember something, it'll take a lot longer or to communicate. But it's like the pain levels. It seems like I don't know. I guess you get used to stuff. If they keep doing something through the same path of nerves, you really adapt to it. But then if they shift around, they do this for a little while, then they go to this spot in your body, then they come back. It's like your body kind of gets used to it, but it can't get completely used to it. So you're still feeling a lot of pain, you know.
I've said it before, they've sped up my mind to an incredible speed. It was just ridiculous, but it was about 5 or 10 minutes and then I crashed after, you know. I was very depressed and low after, but it was ridiculous. Like I could think it, say 5 times the rate, and I would have solutions for what I was immediately thinking of, like, and different branches, and it's hard to explain, but it was a accelerated intelligence, I think. Very hard to explain, but my mind was just working overtime.
Yeah, I mean,
you know?
they can do that. They can use this stuff. They can do this stuff to speed your thinking up.
They
But
can.
like on most of us, it's like they may do that to annoy you. But like on me,
Oh,
it's
it's
like
great at
they'll
the
just
time, but
make it
when you
hard to think,
crash, yeah, it's good at the
So,
time. Then they can go the other way with the suicidal depression stuff, and that can be that can just crush you.
That can be when you really need to get out, like out of yourself. Maybe dive into something else.
They could have it so I would cry all day, like just lie in bed and cry. And I'm like, what the hell am I crying for? But they can do that. And I'm
Yeah,
talking
Yeah,
hours and
they can
hours at
put
a
your
time.
vibrational really, really, really low, right? Or really, really high. When they put it so high, that's where everyone goes on fight or flight syndrome. Above that is like, you could hurt someone. But when they put it really, really low, you're kind of like either flat, no energy, and if they put it even lower, you will start to feel depressed and all that. So
They've had me so depressed that I felt like I was triple the weight, and I couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't get my head off the pillow. I was that low, and that's when I had a couple of suicide attempts as well during that time.
oh, not that.
But it was they
It's
can
the
drag
same
you
one.
as low
Watch him go.
as they want, you know, where you
That
can't
car
focus
always
at all.
follows
you need
me.
to push yourself.
But
Hello.
Hey.
yeah, you're gonna have to kind of pick yourself up sometimes, because they forcefully put you on the very low frequency to the point you get really depressed.
Well, I
And
know
it's
it's
very
all
hard to do
forced
it
now.
yourself sometimes.
I know it's all forced. They're not going to.
Yeah.
They're not going to throw a curveball at me anymore.
There you go.
I'm not
And
going to perceive anything that's odd as not my own. You know, I know who I am now. I didn't know who I was for for 40 years. I used to tell people that I don't know what I'm about, you know. I was
Well,
always very lost.
I used to think, I wonder how the others are doing. Now I know.
Yeah.
You know.
I used to think, and it's not a God complex, but I always thought I was like special. It does sound pathetic, but I always thought I was special and better than those around me. And now I know that I bloody am better than those that were around me. But I thought this for like 20 years. In my 20s, I thought this. That's a bizarre thought to have when you're a target, you know. That's
Yeah, no. We're all definitely, we all have a lot in common, a lot more in common than we ever get around to sharing.
yeah, there's a lot that, you know, people just won't say. They don't want to say it online. There's a lot that I don't want to say. There's a lot of dark stuff that I don't want to say, and there's a lot of stuff I don't understand that I won't say in case I come across crazy. But there's a lot of things you hear that people dismiss as crazy or too out there. Well, there's not a lot that is too out there, you know.
Anything's possible.
They're starting
or
again.
maybe you were just manipulated to think that they can do all
I've been
sorts of
manipulated
sorcery,
so
you know.
much through this. Like at the beginning, I would just talk about everything they were doing with remote neural manipulation, and now it's like they've been doing it for so long, I kind of lost track of some of the subliminal things and the way that they're kind of like pushing my. This is too confusing. Like I can't keep track of all this stuff. Because they're automating some of it, then their main lines of thought that are being messed with the AI. And I'm just like, okay, well, I'll just bottom line it. They're messing with my head. You know, they're using mind control, which was a word that I stayed away from for a long time. I was like, no, I don't want to call it mind control. Let's just call it conditioning or something. It's mind control. I mean, they can put whole lines of feelings and thoughts that affect your actions, you know, and depending on like who it is, it's like it can make you do something really really big, or it can just affect your emotions and feelings and thoughts to where your actions slowly change over time.
Yeah, I want to give an example of this.
It
might be
definitely is mind control. Or as Jesse Ventura says, mind control. Says that on the
He's
show.
a legend, mate. What a legend.
So, so hesitant to share stuff anymore.
Go for it. Do you have any support there at all, or just other TIs?
I have tons of support. I would recommend it to anybody. I mean, 2 years ago, you could say no. I thought it was, you know. No,
is this support from TIs, or do you have to have some family as well?
Yes, I made so many friends. In fact, I shouldn't be counting. I've met almost 100 teachers. Been to rallies, a couple of rallies.
Yeah.
Sacramento rally was.
Tanya.
I've met like 23 TIs here, Colorado so far. I met one today, actually. Hi,
oh, really?
Yeah.
She's better than us, Wayne. She's met what? You've met Laura and 23 TIs?
Yeah, I've met almost 100 TIs, but I met 23 here.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Wow.
Lucky you.
No, it's not.
Okay, wait. I'm gonna show you the drone. Okay.
I've seen them. I know. Yeah, we all have
never experienced a drone, so.
Okay, I showed my friend and he kind of went a little bit crazy. Hi, if he's out there.
Well, that's amazing. That's
I'm gonna go to this electricity box. And I'll pull over next to it. This is the.
What are you showing us
box. This is the box that I see it open a lot. Okay, hang on, give me a second. The drone's coming at me. Right there. Can anyone see it? Turn the light off.
Well,
There it
looks
is.
like on the camera, but I know what you're seeing.
Yeah, it's coming forward anyway. But
Right
here's
over that
that
group of
electricity
trees.
box that I see a lot of tradies open that. I don't know what it is, Kyle. If you would know, that's like I'm not that technical, so I don't know if I could zoom in. I might just go closer a little bit. It's some sort of electrical wires in there. I don't know what it is.
The junction box.
Yeah, it's just
Power
for
box.
like, yeah, for telephone poles and stuff. I think I see that drone like right in the right.
It's coming forward.
Yeah, that looks like a drone. That looks like the drones that I see when I walk out my car.
We have like 6 to 8 above us all the time, and this is a very quiet estate, right? And that's the guy that just went past before. Oh my goodness, see, that's him. He circles around me all the time. When I was parked at the bed, he went past, and then he went past again. And there's a drone right there.
I can tell like there's a drone in my sky because there will be no stars at all, not even one, and there will be like a huge thing that looks like a star, but it's way brighter.
I literally can't even see it.
I feel mine. I just know that he's.
You know what? I'm gonna take a photo.
There.
Never noticed him.
I found myself the other day saying, when I looked up and I didn't see him, I was like looking for my drone, and I was like, "Wow, where's my drone? My drone! I missed my drone." Then
it's a drone.
Your companion.
It's going straight to my house. It's going straight to my house. Yeah, it's going that way. I followed it
because it'll make you.
So some drones carry the weapons, yeah?
Yeah, they do. That's what they set. That sets off the kids, and this is what I mean. I go outside, like, because my daughter's like, she gets woken up and she starts crying. I go outside, there's a bloody drone. And it's every time like they go past that, sometimes they don't do it, so I can tell that it's some sort of switch, like on and off something, I don't know, because they can switch from that to cars going past, and I can tell like if I go back, you know, it's going to wake up someone, or this is probably the only break I have to me. Like 24/7, even at the 5G rally, I took my son, and I guarantee you, when I go back, and I was gone probably 20 minutes, and I say, "Oh, you're an incompetent mom. You do this, you do that," but it's these things waking up my kids. They should be up. It's them doing it. So, and there's cars keep continuously going past. It's Sunday night, right? There's no parties. See, there's another one coming, and there's another one coming this way. There's another one coming that way. This is what I mean. We don't even have sidewalk. Like, that's how semi-rural we are. But since I parked in this box, they're all coming in, you know, in, out. And it's the same cars, you'll notice. Like, I just can't be bothered videoing them all day.
No.
But you'll see it's the same ones. Go in, go out, go in, go out. Like, literally, I'm not going to open this. I don't know what it is. I might zap myself, but still.
It's got to be government to open that.
Yeah, I took a photo of one guy, you know,
it's
in
just
my
a regular junction box, LA Advocate.
Yeah,
and
it's a junction box. Where your power is distributed from.
I don't know what they could possibly do to it, but because there was one time this guy was on it, and that's the time we started having problems with our connection at home. So I don't know what it is.
Well, that's a
but
game
they're
tag.
always there. What's that? Sorry.
Your fuses are in there.
Rating is a game tag, isn't it?
Like I said, I don't know. I see the fuse there. There's like wires and fuses, and like there's 1, 2, 3, there's a few, like 5 or 6 doors. Of it.
You reckon
like,
you can climb on top of it? See if you can climb on top of it.
I'll have to stand on the
Come
car
on.
and go with it. No.
The people want to see it. Climb on top of it.
No thanks.
Ah,
but
boo.
and now my legs are starting to shake. Oh, what the? You remember the video, the private link I showed you, Wayne, when my leg was going like epileptic and I've never been diagnosed with epilepsy. And it was just going like shaking really bad, and the foot was going as well. Sometimes I do
Yeah.
that when I'm driving.
You're doing
This is
Zumba.
why there's times I don't want to drive because what if they do that?
I'm so glad you guys found each other. How did you find each other? Just Valley? Something?
He blocked me the first time because we were seeing.
That's
What
okay.
happened was I think I made an Australian group chat in Messenger,
Nice.
and I noticed he came on because I was adding all the Australian people, and then he came on for a bit and he disappeared. And then one of the first messages I sent him was personal message, not the group chat, was, "Are you okay, buddy?" I didn't know that he had a bird called Buddy. And I was talking something about the neighbor
Spotlight.
had this really bright light in front of my kids' windows, and they couldn't sleep. They were overheated. It was like 1,000 degrees. That was the time when I got an EMF reading of 2,000 microtesla on the pillow of one of the pillows. It's not a battery, and
Can y'all
it
see
happened to
me?
be. He mentioned that's what he was mentioning at the time when
Kind
I
of.
said that shit.
Yeah, something's wrong. My Zoom almost went down.
You've changed position for me.
Like it,
Yeah, you've now
like
gone
the
at the bottom
screen went
for
off,
some
Yeah, you've gone
and
reason.
it
bottom
looked
bunk.
like it closed. I thought the live stream stopped. Yep.
You're on the bottom bunk.
I can't see any of you. I can only see me.
I
I'm
can
trying
see
to
you
figure out.
guys, but my attackers are really messing with the stream. Maybe
Yeah, they
they'll
are, and there's a
stop.
car there. Like
You've
you
got the
can see
view
the
in the
car
top right
lights.
if you click that on Zoom. See the speaker view up the top right? If you
Yeah,
click that, that'll alternate your view, your viewing. Sorry.
we want a gallery view, right?
Well, I don't know how
Yeah,
to do
I
that.
go the
I can't.
I go the one with everyone on, you know.
Yeah, we want that gallery view. Sorry
No,
about that, guys. My attackers are freezing up my screen, so
Yeah,
I
they
can't
do
see
say.
y'all. And they just messed it up. So like I thought that the whole live stream had stopped. I'm sorry.
There's
Y'all go
another
ahead.
drone up there.
It's interesting
I don't
because
know if you could see.
anytime you try to talk about getting together, or anytime I send a video to somebody, I can send a video no problem. But when I try to give a number of another TI to a TI, or sometimes I have to try it 3 or 4 times. And when I went to meet my first TI, we missed each other twice, and I was gonna bag it because I was like, well, just forget it. It's too hard. It's not gonna happen. And it was a while later that she called me, and we just went and had lunch, spur of the moment. It was awesome. Really helped me through some hard shit, and it's been pretty good experiences since then.
Good on you.
Mhm.
That's fantastic.
Just say be vigilant, but
awesome.
not, give everybody a chance, because it's kind of like, I don't know, I want to say it's hard, it's like getting a squirrel to come up to you. You don't want to make any sudden movements. And, people, I've met
Yeah,
people, I
like
know,
that.
I've met
I
people.
was just thinking about that when I went to. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead. No. When you went to,
Oh, I'm sorry I interrupted. I was just thinking about that, being on live streams for so long and doing so many videos. I move a lot. I scratch my nose. I do things, and it's like I'm like, man, some TIs are gonna see one hand movement or something and just be like, oh, that guy's a perp or whatever. It becomes like this thing where it gets in your head, and you're like, okay, I want to, and then you even become more. I become more stiff, right? So I don't know. I'm trying to like get past that. I think we all get
yeah,
past
that's what,
it a
and I
little
hear that.
bit. We let go, but it's still a mess,
I have a
I
You
think
got-
I don't have as
Mhm.
much gang stalkers or whatever you call vehicular stalkers as much as I used to, because we have the drones now. Like literally, there's one coming forward right now again. We get assigned like 6 to 8 at night. I don't know where they go during the day. I think it's more the daytime now, where you have cars going past and it's the same ones at your place. Aside from that, I used to have like really, really heavy, more heavier than what I do now. But ever since the 5G, everything's become wireless.
Yeah. So we've been monitored pretty much all the time for a long time. It's a hard thing to get past. I mean, a lot of people can't get past it. A lot of people can't get past it. So
Like there it is.
I don't know
Oh,
how
I
to
don't know if you...
for that.
I think
Yeah.
I could take the being
I think it just has
surveilled
greater
in our homes,
capacity to.
but being surveilled in
Yeah.
the head is the toughest thing. It's like
Yeah, when people are inside.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Lauren. I'm sorry.
I was going to say people inside your brain, but there's not people inside your brain. But when there's a thought just taken, seems like it's just taken right out of your head before you can, it's frustrating.
Just erased. Like I'll be talking so many times, it's like boom, what's coming up? My short-term memory is poof, it's gone. And I mean, you think about that. You think about like it's a lot of AI, but on mine, I do have Hive Mind team members looking at the visuals in my head and the emotions that I'm having. It's like when I'm watching a movie, when you watch a movie and you get goosebumps at a certain part. Well, that does something to your brain is reacting, and my attackers will react to that on B2K. They'll be like, I'll like get goosebumps because I really like it. And the woman on the B2K is like, oh man, she'll say something. Oh, he likes that part or whatever. It's very weird. It's hard to even just watch a movie or do something relaxing. It becomes this thing where you feel like, ooh, I'm being watched all the time. It's been so hard, to get past that,
Yeah. I don't know how, wow, like belittling and stuff that would, or just acknowledging that, you like something that would throw me for a loop. I gotta say, I don't know. I haven't had to deal with that. Thank goodness. I've dealt with,
You don't have
something.
B2, Laura, you don't have B2K? Oh, okay. I didn't know.
I'm scared to even say it. No, I don't.
I think there's not many people that don't have the voice B2K, like the permanent, because I don't either. I have the voice waking me up sometimes. That's about it. But everything else is subliminal, like frequency, habit uniters.
But not.
Yeah, I had something last week that I thought it was going.
So Laura, do you have the inner voice? Mm-hmm.
I had this screaming in my ears for like 4 days straight last week. That was bad. I mean, I consider calling. Never mind. It was bad. So I can imagine how the voices go just never stops. That would be, I have I have synthetic thoughts, and not good. When you think something that you wouldn't have come up with yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. They almost startle you when you think about it.
Oh, it did startle me, yeah. Yeah,
thanks for visiting my area. Bye.
It scared me for a very long time.
They had me scared of kids. Like I'd see a kid on the telly and I'd be freaked out by it. They're working this. They've been working this kid thing. It's so bizarre. I don't feel that way anymore.
As well. Yeah, don't worry about it, Wayne. Because
horrible.
Literally, you'll be fearful. I was fearful before I had my kids. I don't know why I was so scared. Like people would think I'm a pedophile. Like I don't even know why at that time. Anyway, why am I feeling this way, or things are orchestrated in this way? Like something pops up and I'm fearful, or something, or there's a kid. I'm like, why? I never understood that. And now I have my kids. Like hell no, that's not gonna work on me. You have to change diapers. F off. You kind of just I can tell now. Like even my nieces and nephews, and they're into this thing like, what do you call it? Incest and all that stuff. They give me manipulated dreams with my children to each other. It's like, that's disgusting. Like even, I'm talking baby stage, like 2 of my babies. That's what I'm talking about. They would give me that dream that I'm going to watch my two babies as babies, and it's very disgusting. And it's hard to tell people because they would say, "Oh, that's part of your subconscious, blah blah." It's not.
No.
You know, it's not part of
Yeah, Ella
anything
advocate.
because
Yeah, like yeah,
it's
my
disgusting.
attackers
Even
do
I would say it's
software.
disgusting.
This is them projecting. This is what they're
Yeah,
into. This is their way of thinking, not ours. And this
you
is
can
what
tell
some of
because it
these
was a
people
very
have
clear
actually
photo,
experienced.
like it was a photo that was like flash into. I was sleeping, by the way. Like that's what I mean, manipulated dreams. It was like almost like it was Photoshop perfect. You know, it's disgusting.
Mm-hmm. I've had directed dreaming where it seemed like that too. It was like almost like a movie where, but then I've had directed dreaming where it seemed like it was my dream, and then it seemed like somebody else was projecting their visuals into it. I've had some really disturbing things. I mean, it's like these people think that they're anything like law enforcement or scientists, but they put like, you know, pedophilic things or horrific things like of a just a blood and gore and stuff like that. It's and I asked my attackers one time, I said, what do you people think you are? I said, what do you think you are doing this stuff? And they said, scientist soldiers. That's what they answered back. And it
Why
wasn't
scientist soldiers
in
attacking children? No, it's just silly.
V2K, it was in synthetic telepathy. That, yeah, these assholes said, "See you for real," you know.
It's very pathetic that they would actually think they'd have to soldier a 3-year-old. Sorry, Carl, I keep saying that because that really is disgusting.
No,
Like
I
seriously,
agree.
they're little and they don't see. There's a drone. I'm right here in front of my house, and you can see it like there. I told you it went straight to my house. It's above my house, there. And it's probably little, but it's just looking like a star there. That's what they do. They twinkle up the sky, and then when they come down, they have that flashing red light. And then my daughter wakes up. It's like random hours as well. It's ridiculous. Yeah, that's the soldier there. Whatever, that makes my babies cry. I mean, it wouldn't affect me so much. Like for example, now it's not
Mm-hmm.
affecting me, but you can tell it's affecting me because I'm upset. It's affecting my children because I've got to go in there at some point and just God knows I don't know what's like I don't even want to know sometimes. This is how exhausting it is. And they come around and then they come around all
Yeah.
night. It's just going to sit there. There. It's just going to sit there. And then when I go in, it's going to go past above my roof.
Hey, sister,
What's that, sorry?
is there any way you could, not think about it for the next 5 minutes?
I try not to.
Today, just for 5 minutes.
Yeah. For as long as I go inside. That's why I'm still out here. Because I know when I go inside, it's going to go past. It's not going to affect me, but it's going to make my babies cry. And then I have to go out and chase it again. Like, so it goes back in that stupid spot right
Why do you
there.
have to go out and chase it again?
Go out and chase.
Because it goes above my house and my 3-year-old starts crying. And then she gets like her heart, it gets pulses. And then she gets it in the stomach like me. Like before when I was walking upwards to go back to my car, that's what they'll do to my daughter. Literally, the first time I noticed, she was 1 year old. I was at an ATM and she started crying. I don't know why. At that particular time, I needed to put my numbers in and stuff. And when I held her more properly because she was falling down, I felt her tummy. It was like getting. I don't know how to explain, but I could feel it vibrating literally, my daughter's tummy. So I know what these idiots are gonna do when I go back in there. And it's like 9:27 here now. See, when I left, it was their bedtime, and I don't even want to know what's gonna happen if I walk in. They always wake them up. And last night she was up 3 a.m.
Well, I'd
He's
wake
right
up
there.
too.
Do you feel heat, advocate? Like when you touch your stomach, or you feel heat on their skin?
Yeah, I do, but it's
I don't know if
more
y'all can
that's
hear
more on the neck.
me.
It's more like it's
Keep
fluttery.
freezing up. My attackers keep on interfering. Okay.
I think
You're really lagging tonight, mate. No.
Yeah, I think he's
Karaoke
pausing a bit.
time. Yeah, I've got to say, my electronics, since I started the channel, are just destroyed now. Absolutely destroyed. Even
I
watching
think
the video is difficult now.
I think I'm stuttering as well. Oh, okay. There. It's kind of funny. It's like
I think
Who's
before I do a
there.
live
I don't know
stream,
what's
I think
my thing went
next,
funny.
I think the next time I do a live stream, I'm gonna have to turn my computer off and then turn it back on and run a virus program, then turn it back off, then turn it back on, because my attackers are just freezing y'all up for me. And then like it looks like Zoom is just going down, but y'all can still see everything in the live streams up. So my attackers keep doing it, and then I don't know if y'all can even hear me. So they're playing a little game right now with me, and then I'm getting text too. Sorry about that. But y'all go ahead. It's making me like it's kind of making everything. It's hard for me to communicate with you guys.
all good. We could
I'm
call
not
it.
sure if y'all can hear me.
I mean, could call it a night. I'm gonna get going anyway.
It was good to
Yeah,
talk
it's
to you, Laura.
really
Yeah,
freezing up,
so-
guys.
I'm so glad I caught you.
Yeah.
And was,
I hope you come on.
Bad
Yeah.
connection tonight.
Lauren.
Fantastic guest. Saying what's on your mind. Very good.
yeah, I've almost said really.
I can
Yeah.
tell you've got more to say as well.
This helps.
You've got a lot more to say too. Next time, huh?
Ready.
All right, guys. Thanks for the chat.
Righto.
Okay,
I might stay out here for a bit.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I just can't even tell if y'all can hear me, and they're really messing up my computer. I've got to prep it next time because they're starting to really mess with things. So I'm gonna
They're doing
prep
that to
it
my
and do a
phone.
virus scan. Yeah.
I can't even
Yeah,
message
they just
Wayne
hack into
sometimes.
everything with me.
It's called TI interference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, y'all.
I'm surprised they let this hold up during a live stream. Every time I'm not on a live stream, I have to alternate between my phone and the computer. Like every 5 minutes, one of them will go down and I've got to change. Yet when I jump on a live stream, they let it hold up. I don't understand. So they have
That's-
control in, they must be DDoSing me to shut it down, you know?
Yeah, they're hacked in my
I don't get it.
computer somehow, and then they're messing with the Zoom program, I think. But with me, they usually do let me go, and they just hack my mind. They'll just make me very stressed out or something like that, and they'll play with my feelings while I'm doing videos. But I think this is a very good live stream. We're all getting really good information out, and they're getting annoyed. I can hear the guy on B2K like, I'm tired of this. He's like, I'm gonna shut this down. Like, so I can hear him saying that. So it's a good. This was a great live stream. I really appreciate you guys, and
I've
it's
enjoyed
great
it,
to
mate.
talk to you, Laura. Like it's really
Thanks,
great to talk to you.
everyone.
Thank you,
Yeah.
guys.
All right, guys.
All right,
So,
Wayne.
hey,
Call me
I'll do
later.
In the fight, yeah.
I love you
Back again.
guys. I love you
Bye.
guys.
See you guys. Take it easy.
Bye, y'all. Bye.
Bye.
I'll see y'all on the next one. I'll do this again soon, y'all. And I'll get it prepped next time so this doesn't happen. Okay. Thank you, Laura. Thanks for coming
Yeah,
on.
count on it not happening. I mean, but it's all good.
Yeah.
It was good to see you,
Yeah.
Kyle. I'm glad you're doing okay.
Kinda. I look okay. I look like I'm doing good. So that's something. That's something. You look great too. You look like you're.
Thanks.
I know this is really hard, but you look great.
bitch, man. This is a bitch. Ain't no joke.
This is impossible stuff.
I know.
We just gotta keep going. I know God can get us through this, and if we just keep talking about it, it'll make changes. I know it. I know it. You've got such a great heart, Laura, man. Just keep helping people.
It is written that
just
we
keep
win.
moving forward. Great things happen.
And probably not some so great things,
It's
but
written.
it's coming to an end, Kyle. I can feel it. I can feel it. Like I could feel it even when we were in Washington. I didn't feel it as far as the political arena. I felt it, I felt it that we're causing we're, messing their stuff up, just by getting to know each other. So I don't know.
And the rallies and everything, like the awareness growing and people getting together and not being afraid of each other.
Yeah, I mean, you can feel it. You can feel it when you're there.
Mhm.
You can see that just by getting to know each other, just by learning about each other, we're messing up their whole tra-la-la. So.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, thanks for coming on. Come on the next one too. Just like it. I mean, if you're feeling, I know you're targeting's hard and stuff.
Well, no, it's just that if I catch you, and I
But-
just happen to catch you tonight, so it doesn't alert me. Like you said, it doesn't alert me.
Okay.
So I don't know. Just catch you or send me an
Yeah,
email.
I don't get notifications for a lot of people's channels now. So it looks like, I mean, that's a kind of a sign that we're making a difference,
Mhm.
If they have to cut us off from each other, they have to do all this artificial stuff to censor us, it kind of says that we're getting somewhere.
Well, yeah. I mean, usually nowadays I have to give, if I want to give a TI a number for another TI, I have to do it by hand, meaning they have to take it down with a,
Oh yeah.
pencil in their hand, and I give it to them. I can't just email them or something.
Well, Laura, so wait, do you have my number?
I do have your number. I've called you before.
Okay.
Called and left a message.
You have to.
Yeah, before.
Okay, let me go back through my email. I have a hard time keeping
track.
Yeah.
I know.
Well,
There's so many.
can you? Okay, I'm gonna go through my emails, and I'm gonna email you, or just can you send me your number if I email you so
Yes,
I can call you?
Yeah, I can give you my number. It's
No, don't give it. No.
website.
We're still live.
I know, but I give my number.
Don't give your number out on here.
Well, a lot of people have it. Everybody has it. It's on the website.
You need to stop doing that because you got. Oh, it is. Okay. Is it on Freedom for Targeted Individuals?
Yeah, it's yeah. I mean, if I'm not up, I don't answer my phone. So.
Yeah, me too.
Not disturbing me or anything.
Me too. I get so many calls. I can't believe I missed your call though. I can't believe I missed your call. Like, I'm gonna call you though.
You turn your phone off when you sleep? Do you turn your phone off when you sleep?
Yeah, I put it in airplane mode and I turn it off too. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Good
and
deal.
I sleep a lot. Like, I mean, when I go to sleep, I sleep for 9 hours. I put my lead. Have you seen this? Did I show you this?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you should have seen.
Have you seen this? So I have my less EMF headgear on.
I'm a big fan of the detox. I wish you would.
Hey, you're using up, Laura.
Yeah. Talk to you later.
I can't see
Bye.
you. But I'm gonna give you a call. I'm gonna give you a call so we can talk. Okay, my attackers are just attacking the live stream. Okay, Laura, have a great night. Just stay strong. You're so strong, okay? All right, now, all right, I love all you guys. Sorry about the freezing up. Yeah, I'll get it taken care of for next time. I'll turn off the computer, do a virus scan, and then turn it back on and off. My attackers have just gotten in here. Okay.
It's all good. See you later.
All right, love you, Laura. All right, guys, I love y'all. I will see you on the next one. Sorry about that. My attackers are just freezing it up. So thank you for everybody on the panel. Thank you so much. Y'all are just such warriors. We're going to get through this. We're just going to keep getting through it with God and with y'all's great hearts. We're going to get through this. All right, guys, I'll see you on the next one.